You saw early Tom.
See, that's a difference. See, we had Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You had Tom motherfucking Brady. See, that's who he was.
You had beer drinking Tom.
Exactly.
I had chiseled jaw, avocado eating,
Right.
beautiful hair.
Yeah.
How do you smell good after practice, Tom? Today's game is the 2003 AFC Championship with Ty. You fought the law, and the law won.
This is the game to go to the Super Bowl. We're playing against our rivals in Peyton Manning.
Third interception of the day for Ty Law.
You are one of the greatest pass defenders I've ever watched. Could you have dominated in this generation?
I would adapt. I'll say if I played the way that I played, I probably wouldn't get no check.
Yeah.
You're going to get fined on everything.
We would have fought.
Yeah,
We would have been fighting.
But guess what? We've been drinking a beer afterwards, though.
No, 100%. Your years that you played, you picked off Dan Marino.
Yeah.
You picked off Steve Young.
Yeah, my first pick was Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly.
My longest interception was off Tom, though.
I heard that pick six.
What's your best Bill Belichick story?
Yeah, want me to give you one more?
Let's hear it.
In my contract.
Wait, do we
Oh,
shot
you
a
know
clock?
what? Oh, God damn it. Shot a clock,
Shot
guys.
a clock. Shot a clock. I mean, we're talking Bill. You got to get a little toasty.
Mm-hmm. So let's go to Bill's ass, right? So
Games with Names is a production of iHeartRadio. Welcome to Games with Names. This is our 50th game.
The big 5-0.
What a game for 52.
We made it, guys.
52.
We made it.
50 also.
Comma.
50 as well.
We lost 52.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
No, but thank you guys for watching and supporting. It's been so fun.
It's been awesome.
It's been awesome to read the comments on all the platforms, listening to the voicemails. It's pretty fun to still be connected with, people that love sport.
What a ride. It's
been awesome. Yeah,
been
it's
awesome.
been great.
And to many more.
And can't wait to see him at the live show, too.
Live show.
Face
Sold
to
it
face.
so fast. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, my God. We're going to pack it out.
Face to face. Ooh,
All right, what game are we doing
Was that
today?
Chromeo?
Let me look that one up. I
Face
can't
to
remember.
face.
What game are we doing today?
Today's game is the 2003 AFC Championship game with the Colts traveling into old Foxborough, snowy Foxborough, against the Patriots with no one other than the man who literally smelled blood in the water when Peyton Manning was throwing the football. Ty, you fought the law, and the law won. We get into talking the difference between Tom Brady and Tom motherfucking Brady.
Tom motherfucking Brady.
We also get into what's a dog, who's a dog, the definition of dog, a lot of dog talk.
That's right.
And we also took a few shots of Corvus vodka.
If you can't tell.
The first episode that we throw him back on.
Jeez, there goes the detox.
We might have to do games with names after dark. Get an alcohol sponsor.
Sign me up.
Start letting it fly.
Sign me up.
Well, this is a great episode. I can't wait. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hell yeah, let's go.
January 18th, 2004, Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts.
on that snowy day in New England, Peyton Manning and the Colts are looking to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl.
But sometimes, even a sheriff has to answer to the law. This is the I Fought the Law and the Law Won game. I fought the law and I got drunk. Welcome to Games and Names, and we have an unbelievably special guest. We have Ty Law in the studio. Welcome to Games and Names, bro.
Oh, man, thank you. Thank you for having me, man. Hey, I'm a big fan right now, man. I'm a fanboy. Julian Edelman, you was a beast, dog. I'm trying to tell you, bro. You was a fucking animal, man.
You know what? Hearing that from you means so much because you are one of the greatest pass defenders I've ever watched, and it was crazy. And we're gonna go over the 2003 AFC Championship game, Colts versus Pats, and it was in the biggest moments, the biggest games that you always saw Ty Law make the big play when the team needed the big play. Now, why'd you pick this game? Why do you like this game? And we'll get into the details of it, but like off cuff, why'd you pick this game?
I think it started before I grew up in Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. I mean, we ate, slept, played football. You know, we played basketball to stay in shape for football and for something to do. So, I mean, it's just my town and my city. That's what it was all about. So the first people I looked up to were the high school guys when I was a jit. You know what I mean? So I looked up to those guys because they were the popular, they were the stars around town in my little hometown. Everything shuts down when it comes to football. You know, you would think you would be at a Florida State game in Aliquippa because we got the horse, we got the fire. Every time somebody scores when you're in the town, you hear the fireworks going off. So it was a real community type of feel, and you wanted to be out there. Yeah. And I knew that was my ticket, if anything, you know, to get out and make a better name for myself, better life for myself.
And you did. And what was in the water out there in Western Pennsylvania? Because Ditka came from there, Revis came from there. I played with Reeve, and he was probably the best corner I got to play with.
But you missed the name, Jules. One of the greatest, who was greater than all, in my opinion. Uncle Tony Dorsett.
Tony Dorsett.
So Aliquippa, we got 4 in the Hall of Fame.
4 Hall of Famers.
Yeah. So the only town and like population of what, 7,000-8,000, if that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we got 4 Pro Football Hall of Famers.
I mean, well, I went to Kent State, and we used to have all the Western PA kids. Our little running back was Eugene Jarvis, and he was a stud. And it was very apparent that Western Pennsylvania, that Pittsburgh, that area that you're in, they love football. Like die, eat, sleep, football.
Right.
And it's gotten kind of away from that. What do you think about the game right now and how the hunger? Do you still see guys from your area still coming out and balling out?
Yeah, absolutely. Aliquippa for this year, the new Heinz Field, by the way, I want to send a shout out to the Heinz Corporation because, of course, they were the Steelers, right? Yeah. Everybody knew Heinz Field. That's where you and I played. We played at Heinz Field.
Yeah.
So I guess the big .coms came and they changed it. So Heinz put an interest in Aliquippa because we never had a track. We never had a great field. Whatever we dealt with and what we played it with, we made it our own. They came and opened up a brand new stadium this past year. And it's beautiful. It was beautiful. And guess what? Went undefeated for the first time.
Let's go.
And, man, it's been crazy. And they're working on the state championship right now in basketball, playing right now, up by 18. So I'm keeping in touch with my guys right now. But Aliquippa is everything to me, man.
You grew up a Steelers fan?
Hell no.
Tony Dorsett. So
hey, I was out. Look, I grew up a Cowboy fan. Although I respected the Steelers and everybody in my hometown, they were diehard Steelers. And the only thing that used to irritate me is that when we played them after I got to the NFL, they wanted me to win. They wanted me to get 5 interceptions I could in the game. Yeah. But they want me to be on the other side of the score. Yeah. On the other side of the scoreboard in the loser bracket. That's how diehard the Pittsburgh faithful is. But, you know, I want to do something different. That's why I didn't go to Pitt. Yeah. Everybody from Aliquippa, you think about Mike Ditka, Tony Dorsett, Darrell Revis, they went to Pitt. I wanted to do something different. You know, it has nothing against Pitt, but I didn't want to try to be the next Tony Dorsett. Yeah. Because that's what everybody was, because I was, you know, running back and all that stuff, touchdowns. But I wanted to be the first Ty Law. I realized you can't be the next Tony Dorsett. He's one of one. But I want to be one of one, and that's why I decided to go to the University of Michigan and just flip it up, because a lot of the top athletes always go to Pitt or Penn State, and Penn State was out the goddamn question. Yeah. I mean, you don't see nothing but fucking cornfields and everything. When I was there at the time, you know what I mean? I thought I was children of the corn. I seen Malachi and them up there. I was like, oh hell no, man! I was never going up there. I was scared.
Never been out there.
Huh? You ain't missing nothing. You ain't missing a damn thing.
Anything specific in this 2003 AFC Championship that sticks out right when you think about it?
Just the magnitude of the game. You know, this is the game to go to the Super Bowl. We're playing against, you know, at that time, you know, our arch nemesis, our rivals in Peyton Manning, you know, the face of the league, you know, along with Tom. So it was big. And for me personally, I knew I had to go play. Yeah. Like, I had to get up for that game. You know, this kind of games you circle, because I had to go against the great Marvin Harrison, you know what I mean, and Peyton Manning. And I knew I was going to get opportunities, so I was always afraid of being on the wrong end of the highlights, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got to wait a week to get some redemption, and guess what? You can't wait no week there. You lose that game, you got to wait a whole nother year to get some get
a whole nother year, and then you're going to be on BillTube for
exactly.
the Bill low lights.
The low lights, exactly. And I was not about to have that. So, I mean, I was extra motivated, for that game, and for whatever reason, he kept coming my way. I mean, dumbest shit ever, but,
My favorite thing about this game, you talk about Marvin Harrison, he had the same amount of catches he did.
That was crazy, right? That mean, hey, you know what? And with all due respect to Marvin, because I knew I had to put on, work. Hey, he was a stud. I mean, he had that quickness, and you see his son right now.
Yes.
Oh my God! I mean, that looked like the most pro-ready rookie receiver that I've ever seen, man.
I mean, he's gonna go top 10.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
Top 5.
I think he's gonna go top. I think he's gonna go top 5, and then if
the Patriots
everything
get
he
him,
learned from his
can't
dad,
do that.
Could you imagine Marvin, his dad, with that size? My God!
We're looking at it potentially.
Yes, exactly.
We're looking at it, and you know that he's got. When your dad is Marvin Harrison, and you're a bigger guy, you're different. But he was doing all those little drills that Marvin used to do, those little comebacks at the fucking.
Yes.
Didn't he used to run that little comeback at the front line almost? They used to run like the fake comeback.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, he
back
was
shoulders.
He was so good at that. But how I used to try to combat Marvin is to be physical. Well, I was like that with everybody, to try to be physical. But really, him, I say, you know what? Sometime let me go ahead and attack. Right away, I like to play him on the line of scrimmage. I wasn't silly enough to play Marvin, play him off the line. No, hell no, you can't give him space. So maybe if I attack right now, make him uncomfortable, Peyton to go like this and go elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was my job.
Win
but
at the line of scrimmage.
Exactly, win at the line of scrimmage, man. And they started putting him in motion though. That was the thing they used to do because I used to get him at the line of scrimmage. They'll put him in motion, the short motions and stuff like that. To try to
free release.
Exactly.
It's crazy. You've been watching this Dynasty?
Yeah, look, I got to be honest. I only watched the first, I think the first three or four episodes because it's 2 parts on each one. But from what I'm hearing, I don't like what I'm hearing. I got to really sit down. I've been so busy, with my vodka and just keeping my head down, doing me. But I don't like what I'm hearing, how they're making Bill look, how they're portraying Bill. I haven't, seen it, so I got to see it for myself to get a real assessment. But just from a lot of people, I don't like it because he make him look bad guy. I don't like that.
We got to talk about this politically because we still love the people that produced it.
Right. Absolutely.
But it's crazy to watch some of this and I did a 4-hour interview for this thing.
You too?
Yeah. I was in for like 2 seconds because I didn't talk shit about Bill.
I think I got the same thing because I probably was there over 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I drove, down to Naples because Bill Parcells, he was, I think he did it the day before I did. And then, I went down there. I mean, it was an all-day event.
Yeah.
And they took a couple of little sound bites, but it was a hell of a lot more to the story of as far as, how I view things, you know what I mean? And they didn't quite put that in there.
Nah, but it's Hollywood.
Right.
It's clickbaity. It's
Right.
one of those things where it's going to grab attention. People are going to watch it. And, I tip my cap to the people that made it because people are talking about it. We're talking about it.
Right. No, they started off hot, though. I was like, okay, this is going to be good. I'm sitting there like, oh, we're going to rival The Last Dance off of this one. I'm feeling like, okay, they about to really amp it up, because I was interested to hear the story, with you guys. Yeah. I've seen it, with us. I've seen it.
What's portrayed of the story.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Being around there, but I wasn't in the locker room. It's a little bit different when, you take yourself out of it. You've been a part of this journey. You were on the field when the hit happened. You seen Tom's progression and how we used to get on him and, him being like, a young guy and just so hungry. You seen his like hunger to try to get out there on the field, but no one could anticipate he would be the GOAT.
Yeah.
And for anybody to say they seen that is full of shit because no one's seen that he would be it's not even an argument, the greatest quarterback of all time. My thing is the greatest football player of all time.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Tom Brady.
Who's the greatest quarterback then?
Tom Brady.
I just went, I don't know.
Yeah. No, but you know what? I mean, it's like, Jules, how some stuff is debatable. You can sit there and talk about, hockey. Gretzky is Gretzky. And then you got a whole lot of other guys, Muse or the other guy that's making all the waves. You can talk about basketball. It's always going to be a debate with who was better, Michael or LeBron. Instead of just looking at those guys, they were great in their time for what they did for the game. You got to add even Kobe in there. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you want to put the thing on championships or best games, you got to talk about Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, regardless of what era that they was in. But there is a debate. There is absolutely no debate when it comes to who's the greatest quarterback of all time. You can say football player because some people still think because of the red shirts that they wasn't football players. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I think Tom surpassed that notion, of being as tough and as resilient as he was, taking the hits, getting up, talking shit, getting in people's face. He was just a different breed. Yeah. But it is no debate whatsoever of who's on the Mount Rushmore of the quarterback position. It's people that's having some great stuff done right now. Yeah. Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes. He's doing some great things. Great. But to put him, for some, to say in Tom Brady category, come on, man.
It's too early.
Too early. Too soon.
You gotta let it shape out.
Exactly.
He's doing some great things. And he's unbelievable. But we just watched his documentary. I mean, I gotta see some crazy adverse situation you got to overcome. Someone's going to die. Someone getting murdered. It's still all rose. They're still on the honeymoon stage.
Right, they're in the honeymoon stage, right? And to be able to, do it as consistently as he's done it. I mean, he was batting damn near 500 to go to Super Bowls throughout his whole career.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you have to play long enough to even be in the conversation. We got to start the conversation for right now with Patrick Mahomes, even though he's on that trajectory. There's no denying that. I mean, I love his game. I mean, it's the new breed.
Yeah.
But you got to start with Montana. You got to get him first. You know what I mean? You got even
Terry.
Yeah, you got to get exactly. Then Terry Bradshaw, he got 4. What would we be talking?
Original TB12.
What would we be talking about right now if Jim Kelly happened to win 4 Super Bowls in a row? He would be in the conversation. Unfortunately, they didn't win, but I think certain people get a lot of kudos for going to the championship, but you got to close it out.
You got to close the door.
You got to close that damn door.
Now, you saw early Tom.
Right.
What do you think what's the biggest thing he developed, or what did you see in the later part of his career that he developed through his career? What made him special to you?
The willingness, one, to learn, not have that much ego to where he couldn't, got frustrated with not getting his opportunity. I respect Tom so much for when he got that opportunity, he took it and ran with it. And I think, when I said on the Dynasty, we were going out, we were doing our little team dinner, and myself, Tom, Milloy, going up, and he was like, I ain't giving this shit back. That's all you can say is that's the spirit, hey. But me and Lori looked at each other like, bullshit. That's $100 million. Hey, you going back to the pine, big buddy, when Drew come back. I mean, that's just what we thought from the business side of it. But when he was out there to play, all we asked him was don't blow it. You know what I mean? Don't turn the ball over. He didn't develop into Tom Brady, the best that we ever seen in our life at that time. He was still a young guy. We had a run game. Our defense was phenomenal. I mean, you're not going to put up a lot of points on it. We had like the number 1, number 2 defense in the league. You know what I mean? Yeah. We were like that. So I mean, he got to, come in easy, not as much pressure. But when it was time, that's when you kind of seen that something special about this kid is when, in crunch time, as a young buck, he was cool.
Always.
He was always real chill.
Same guy.
And then you start seeing him take more of a leadership role, a more vocal role, because he wasn't that vocal, before. I don't think he was that confident to get up in front of the team when you got guys, vocal guys like a Teddy Bruschi, Willie McGinnis, and those guys. They did a lot of the talking. You know what I mean? Lawyer, he was a big talker. Sometimes you got to tell Lawyer to shut the hell up, man. We're trying to go home. But he like to get the end of the speech. I know I'm gonna hear this when he see it, but sometimes I'd be like, Lawyer, man, would you shut the hell up so we can go home? Long ass day. But Tom eventually became that person to, talking. He gained everybody's respect, man. So, much love to the GOAT.
Was there a specific game where you're like, all right, we could win with this guy? He's a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. It may not have been that first season, that first Super Bowl, but somewhere along in this 2003 season, I mean, you guys were 14-2.
I mean, from the time that he won the Super Bowl and became this big phenomenon and, everything that had happened and transpired during the season, you seen it right there. He came in the next, season with a different type of confidence, different type. No, he didn't let the fame get to his head to where he wasn't willing to put in that work, and he did that because I'm telling you, I know we gave him a hard time because we didn't trust you yet. You know what I mean? You just got here. Yes, you're our teammate, but it's our job to talk shit every time in practice and throw it back in your face. We was all talking at all times. He throw that over here. Sometimes I wouldn't even pick it up. I just bat the motherfucker down. They gonna throw that bullshit. That's a pick. Come on, man. Willie McGinnis is at him. Vrabel was hilarious.
Give me some Vrabel story.
Vrabel, man, it is nothing that is off limits. When it comes to, Vrabel and his answer, whatever he might say, as long as it ain't, it might even be on a borderline personal, for Vrabel. He might say something about your mama, your sister. I mean, just anything, but that's how he motivated, you know what I mean? And like I said, he would just touch that line and back up off of it. You know what I mean? Vrabel was the guy that passing out the damn drinks before practice. It's cold as hell. We used to have to drive. See, Jules, you came in when the house was built.
Yeah.
We had to drive to practice, man. We in there a little bunch of Pop Warner kids with shoulder pads and helmets and Benzes and shit going to practice. Everybody got their little Vrabel got the flask over there. Everybody go take a swig. So next thing you know, everybody keeping something in the car. So we out there, it's cold as hell.
Cold.
That sounds like you today.
Huh? Oh yeah, that's what man. Hey, Mike Vrabel, thanks, man. You inspired me.
Oh my gosh.
I used to be in that training room, and old Jimmy Whalen used to tell us all the stories, the Izzo stories. He'd tell us the Vrabel stories. He'd say Ty Law would come in on a Monday. He'd go jog to Dunkin' Donuts, grab his coffee, and then jog back. Was that true? What's that story all about?
Well,
there was some other variables.
I think he got it a little wrong, but I know he got it wrong with that. I ain't jogging the damn Dunkin' Donuts and jog back with a coffee. I used to come in every morning to jog. I'll do 5 miles, period. You know what I mean? So I did that every day. I mean, people would come in. They see me on the highway, even if it's snowing.
Yeah.
I'm jogging. I'm trying to get it in because my job, we gave the cover 2 shell, right? But Bill always say you're on your own. So we'd roll the coverages, we give a look. But I was always, basically man or zone playing man. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I just had to keep myself in that type of shape. And I was always one of those guys that can get a little thick. So shit, I gotta keep on running. So I did that every day. And then on Thursdays, I ran the whole stadium. So I would do that before practice.
After or before?
I do that before meetings. I'm already lathered up before meetings. Some people come in and get a little lift in, get breakfast before meetings, or do it in between. I came in at 6:30 in the morning every day. Ran. I'm talking about legit. 4 to 5 miles. And it was 4.5 miles. I did with my car. Same route, up and down. And Thursdays hit the whole stadium, the whole bottom row. You got to hit every step. So I do the whole run. But Friday, massage, Saturday, nothing. Game time Sunday.
Fucking Vrabel.
We had Ernie Adams on.
Oh.
Just the other day.
Yeah.
He was saying that Vrabes used to wreck scout team practice because he'd be out there calling out exactly what they were going to do.
Oh, yeah. No, Vrabel was great. That's why he's such a good coach, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's the scout team, and they're trying to work on something, and that's just Vrabel being Vrabel, calling it out, just letting the offense know that I know what you're about to do. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell my boys, but he was always coaching out there. But even out on the field, Vrabel was the coach. Brewski was that quarterback, man. It's like I always tell people, I wouldn't be where I am today as a Hall of Famer without that damn Teddy Brewski. You know why? I ain't know what the hell was going on. I'm like, who I got? Give me him. Brewski be like, hey, Ty, you got him, or we doing this? Because I would never come into the huddle. So if you watch the old films, you will never see me go in the huddle and everybody run back to it. Damn it, I'm too tired. I just ran, nine routes because if you playing bump and run, people would always run you off. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was fade. I get so many of them a game because, I'll cut the route off and it converts to a fade. So Brewski I would look, he'll tell me, you got this. If I'm sitting there, I go like this to Brew, I'm winded, I'm tired, he'll call a cover 2 just to give me a break. He come back to the sideline, Romeo's to get on him. Bro, what the fuck was that? He's like, fucking Ty was tired. You know, and he said, it's on me. And so I was sitting there like, thank you, bro. You know? So he'll sit there. We had that kind of thing where he'll just know, you know, if I was blew out, and he'll sit there and just do that just to give me a break.
What a guy. Who's the hardest working guy on the defense? Or was one of those things where, because it was always the saying around the building, and it was developed with you guys, is the more you can do.
Yes. And it was, we all competed. So to say who was the hardest worker, you know, I would say I was the hardest worker. I think Rodney would say he was the hardest worker, Willie, because we even competed drinking water, man. You had to have a gallon of water, and if somebody like Willie, because, you know, Willie be like, I'm gaining on you, Rodney Harrison, I'm gaining on you, taking a sip, stay hydrated. Yeah. So we do stupid shit like that just to compete with one another. So, you know, we run in the scout team. When the scout team is on, we never sat down and just watch.
You run gas.
That started with myself and Otis Smith. Yeah. We started that. And then next thing you know, here come the rest of the defense. We used to do it because we were always, I'm telling you, we took everything as man coverage. Yeah. So we had to run with these guys. I wasn't the fastest guy on the block, but I can run the same thing for 4 quarters. So next thing you know, you see the offensive line doing it. Now, hey, Tom doing it. You know what I mean? But it started, you know, right there. So that's why no one ever sat down and we was like, I'm gaining on you. If you're not doing that, you got to be doing push-ups or some shit. And you sitting there like, hey, Jules, I'm gaining on you. So guess what? You got to drop down and do push-ups. That's just what it was.
Is that the mentality that's missing with the Patriots right now?
Damn right. Who was there to lead them? Who was there to show them? Who was there that had the experience? And then now when you talking about, you know, the great, you know, Matthew Slater moving on, who's left now? You know, you were gone.
David Andrews, maybe?
Exactly. So I mean, are they that are they that vocal? I mean, when you really look at, you know, you got to have a dominant personality. You got to have the respect amongst the peers. So I think we had so many players as time went on that stayed on to be able to help you guys. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you picked it up and you were able to help some of the young guys and go in there. But now it's like no one else is there. And then when you got Tom Brady that's there for 20 years, this is the goddamn standard. So it's always good when you got your best player, your most popular, but most respected player, you know, setting the standard.
Working hard.
There's no excuses. And Tom Brady was a goddamn worker.
He was a worker. You know, we experienced a different Tom. You know, I came in, he had 3 Super Bowls, you know, the supermodel wife. Right. He was in the high of the high. You know, I never got to see him as one of the boys. You know, but he was still practicing with a purpose. He would still fly out the coach in November that would work on his little dumb fundamental drills that, like, this dude's already a 12-year pro, still is flying out a guy to work on his technique, you know, halfway through the season. You know, it's just, it's crazy. He was definitely the constant. And that's what I think the Patriots are missing. You know, your best players have to be your hardest workers.
Absolutely.
And I learned that when I walked in the door with Teddy Bruschi and Kevin Falk, and Troy Brown was always around, and then watching the old film of you guys. I didn't know about it, really. I was a Bay Area kid, a West Coast kid, and I was introduced to it. And I saw, by example, you know, Teddy Bruschi, Kevin Falk, first one's in, last one's to leave, you know, challenging each other at all times, practicing hard, doing special teams, and they're in like their 15th year.
Right.
You know, I think that mentality's definitely been lost.
Yeah. And it's even like, you know, the team, what we did was important, that we started making it a habit. I don't know if you guys did, you probably did, but when you look at the team now, you're wondering, do they take the team dinners? Do they go out, you know, together? Do y'all take the wide receivers out and make the rookies or the young guys pay for it? You know what I mean? It's like we did stuff like that, and it was team building, so we just didn't have to see each other, you know, on the field. We understand that this is work. We got families, but we made a conscious effort to do stuff not only as a DB group, but we did stuff as a team. And that's when we started winning. We started seeing things change around. That's what became the Patriot way, even though, like, the coaches get credit and Belichick and Scott and them. Bullshit. The Patriot way started in the locker room.
Well, I always explain it like this. Well, first off, in 2024, that's called bullying, first off. And then I go, you know, Bill was Congress, right? He made the fucking law. But the leaders on the team, we were the sheriffs out there, and we were fucking patrolling it. It wasn't coaches saying shit. It was the guys that were making people accountable because everyone was so embarrassed if they did something wrong and you were put on that bill low light, you know, because in front of the whole team, not just your unit, not just in the receiver room, in front of the whole team. So when you're walking down the goddamn hallway, you got a defensive guy coming up to you saying, "Are you going to drop that wide route?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's something that was developed, the toughness that I think that they've been lacking. What's your best Bill Belichick story?
All right.
Look.
Okay. Well, you know what? All right.
Look.
All right. So it was a situation where, you know, I was going through, you know, some contract stuff before, and Bill was like, "Hey, we need to restructure your contract." And I was like, "Well, is this going to be like an extension? You know what I mean? You just say some cap space or whatever." And I was like, you know, okay, but after we got it all down, I'm like, hey man, so that's a fucking pay cut. What is that ain't saving me no money. I don't even got to send my agent this shit. You know what I mean? But then we went through it, and then so he hits me, and it was a good friend, you know, on the team. I ain't gonna say no names. I can't put it out there like that. And he was like, "Hey, look, if you don't restructure this, man, we have to cut your boy." I was like, well, I guess he'll cut ass. I ain't giving you shit. You know, I'm like, I ain't happy. I said, I guess I gotta go tell my boy that, hey, bro, hey, man, get your neck, catch you before I see you, something like that. You know what I mean? But it, like I said, but that's Bill being Bill, and now that, so we end up working it out. I restructured. I said, look, I don't care about it as long as I'm getting paid the same thing it is, because I didn't call in and try to get no more money. And even though a lot of stuff got blown out of proportion, we worked it out. I restructured my contract. My dog was still there, you know what I mean? And, you know, we move on. But all we had to do was we didn't even have to go through all that.
Bill.
But you know, they try to do that and test your loyalty. Coach Parcells tried me when I was a rookie. But I like to say I'm a little bit of a different breed. I got a mind of my own. So now they came in and put me at the end zone. The end zone was even better, but it was still shitty when you was there, right? Yeah. The end zone hotel. I lived there for a couple months, but when I came for my visit, it was myself, Curtis Martin. They ended up drafting both of us. You know how you just go on the visit, they want to talk to you, interview you, stuff like that. So Coach Parcells brought me into the office and said, look, hey, man, we like you, but we don't like who you got representing you. He's like, you know, those Poston brothers, man. He said, I can't draft you with that. So I'm sitting there myself, you know, people had me projected to go to the Detroit Lions at number, I think they had the 21st pick of the draft. And I'm sitting there like, you know what? After what I seen and looking at Foxborough Stadium, I'm seeing all these trailer parks up here and shit. I'm like, man, okay, that made me keep my agent even more. Because y'all, you couldn't even put me in a Marriott. Yeah. You couldn't put me, you know, I'm thinking I'm about to go to the league, you know, Ritz-Carlton, get some room service or some shit like that, man. Bruh, I was not trying to come to New England just because of that. But when he told me that,
oysters.
But when he told me that, what he tried to do was get into, you know, a young guy's head, see what you think. That's the divide and conquer, you know, mentality, saying that, you know, you might want to draft me. You know, I don't know that. But you think I'm going to go and fire my agent just because of what you said? Even if I had my agent and I'm with you and you don't want to get the deal done, you need to know. That's not happening. So my agent brought it up to Bill Parcells, and Bill was like, well, I had to try. Because, hey, guess what? And I got, you know, at that time, you know, I got a nice rookie deal, you know, which was, I got is equivalent to like the 17th pick, even though I was a 23rd pick. And then, of course, when it was time to, you know, really get paid, you know, I was the highest paid defensive back in the league.
I mean, it's a production business.
Exactly.
It's a production business.
Yeah, exactly.
You get paid, you get that production.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you got the old Bill Okey-doke corner trick where, you know, he used to try to do that to me all the time in contract talk stuff. Well, you know, he'd see in the cafeteria, look, Jules, come over here for a second. You know, and I'm like, what's up, coach? How you doing? And I would just play dumb. He's like, look, you know, we got an agent. We got Caserio. You tell your agent something. I tell Caserio. Why don't we just do something right here? You know, and I'd always just play like, coach, I'm like dumb with numbers and shit. I don't know what the fuck, you know, because he's
right.
He's going to get you in here to sign a goddamn contract, and I don't know what the fuck I'm signing. But that's funny that he tried to okey-doke you.
He tried to okey-doke me twice.
That's the Bill okey-doke.
Yeah, want me to give you one more?
Let's hear it.
Okay, since we out there and everything gone now. So now Now I had in my contract.
Wait, do we shot
you
a
know
clock?
what? Oh, God damn it! Shot a clock,
Shot a
guys.
clock.
Shot a clock.
Shot a clock.
Shot a clock.
I mean,
Right
we're
now.
talking Bill. You got to
Yo,
get a
you
little
gotta get a
toasty.
shot. Oh yeah, we got a
You
shot of
gotta
clock
get a
right
little
now.
toasty.
I gotta say this. This is Corvus vodka, of course, the official vodka, proud partner of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. A portion of every bottle that I sell goes back to the old school guys, the Hall of Famers that
Let's go.
wasn't as fortunate as we were. You know what I mean? To be able to make money because they had to get jobs in the off season, so they really played for the love of the game. But if they ever fell on hard times or something like that,
100%. You got to take care of the fathers, founding fathers.
Yeah, exactly. And if they're passed on, the fund, we help their widows as well. But anyway, grilled pineapple, the only grilled pineapple on the market. Y'all heard it right here. Games with names. My man Jules.
Grilled pineapple.
If somebody else say they got that shit, they lying. That's
They're
they
lying.
second. They second. Where y'all cups at? Grilled pineapple.
Coming through.
Old Jimmy Whalen's probably going to watch this. And he's going to be talking so much shit.
Hey,
I know he's going to
Bill.
text us. Because Jimmy be watching this shit.
Oh yeah, okay. Hey, grilled pineapple. Cheers.
Now we're going grilled pineapple.
Hey, now we about to mess with Bill a little bit.
Let's.
Cheers.
We love him. We love him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, I can taste the.
Yeah.
You can taste the grill right after the pineapple.
Yeah,
Sets
it
it off.
sits on the grill, right? So a little different, right? So this is what we drinking now. We started off concentrating in New England, but this is the lick. So let's go to Bill's ass, right? So as we drinking and thinking shit. All right, so Bill, I had a contract, so of course, he came, from the Jet side, and at the time, I was the only person on the roster that was still under Pete Carroll's contract. So I signed the big deal. I was with Pete. Pete really went to bat, and like I said, I earned my shit, but I was under that contract. So you know how it is. They only can touch your contract once. Once they touch it, you can't touch it for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? They would try to avoid me like the plague. So next to Drew, I was next. But they would go to everybody else because they knew, at the time that don't come mess with me about that shit. That's not happening. So anyway, I had a bonus in my contract where I get X amount of dollars if I come and make weight, and I had a reporting bonus. So I had a reporting bonus. I can say it now because
you had a weight clause?
Huh? No, that's what's part of my reporting bonus. I got to come on time, make weight, pass the conditioning test.
Yeah, we all got that.
Exactly. I got $1 million for mine though.
Workout bonus, $1 million.
No, that was reporting bonus. My workout bonus was $100,000.
You know,
so that's what the story.
Just in case they catch you. Just in case they catch you, they save $1 million.
Yeah. Hey,
they know you can do it.
Yeah,
just in case.
So that was your incentive to come in and, like I said, I was gonna pass the conditioning test. Hey, I don't give a damn if I had to sit in the sauna for 50 hours straight. I'm gonna get that damn bonus. You know what I mean?
Easy.
But it was the $100,000. So when I came in, I got I came in and got my checks. You know what I mean? At the time, you got direct deposit, but you get your receipt.
Yeah.
So I got one. I'm like, where my little $100,000 at? So, and of course, I go down. They say I go upstairs, and they say, hey, you gotta go talk to Bill. I'm like, well, shit. Okay, hey Bill, I'm missing $100,000. And he's like, well. He said, we didn't talk this year. I said, what are you talking about? Because I went to Bob Kersey, the great Bob Kersey, Olympic, gold medal winning coach. I trained with him. I never stayed in the off season, for the program. So, I got under my contract, as long as it was approved by the head coach or GM, which it always was, I get both checks. So he said, we didn't talk this year because we talked last year because, like I said, he was fairly new to it and he approved it. It was fine. So I'll just assume it's like that every year.
Yeah.
I signed this shit when you was a Jet. You remember you was a Jet when I signed this contract. So when you came, here it is, we talked.
Jet for you guys, that's a little child.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Or young in your profession.
Exactly.
That's some Florida talk.
Yeah, exactly. So now I comes and he sit there and is like, no. I'm like, Bill, man, all right. So I called my financial advisor. I was like, yo, did that $1 million clear yet? Oh, not yet. So, I went out, I left, and I came back. So Bill know me. So I'm coming back in, and Bearish, he was like, hey, he said, he's in there. Bill had my contract sitting on, his
Laid
desk.
out.
Laid out, highlighted. he had the shit highlighted, saying, hey, it has to be approved of this, language. I'm like, and it was always approved. You was a fucking Jet. He said, well, Andy Weiserchuck is no longer the GM. and I'm the head coach, and I say no. Fine. So I was like, all right. I just took my ass to the locker room, got my stuff out the thing, and I walked on out. I was gone for 3 days. See, it wasn't no social media and all that stuff there. So I was gone for 3 days, bro. And finally got the call because they got to call you and say, and this is during training camp, but I know in training camp, you cannot fine me more than $1,200 a day. So as far it was $1,000 a day at the time.
Yeah. It's like 20 now.
Huh?
It's like 20 grand.
Oh yeah?
Unexcused absence. Keep going.
Yeah, so it was 1,000. It was like it was it 5,000. Was it 5,000? Yeah, it was 5,000. So I said, as far as I'm concerned, I got 20 practices. I'll be back at on day 21 to get that $6 million salary. I'll be back for that. But if I'm losing 100,000, I'm gonna lose this shit legit. So I was gone. You know what I mean? So eventually Bears called me, got on the phone, bring your ass down here. All right. I said, Bill, I want my money. He said, you come down here, we talk about that shit later. So I go.
Going to the principal's office.
No,
that's what people don't realize.
No,
exactly. The principal's
office. He told me to come to go to the game because we were playing down in Washington.
So you didn't practice all camp?
No, I didn't. I was gone for 3 days. I left.
Oh, 3 days.
Exactly. Because guess what? The $1 million cleared.
Okay.
That was clear. That was in the bank. So as far as I'm concerned, I got $100,000 right here that's out there. And to me, where I come from, that's a lot of goddamn money.
That's a lot of money anywhere.
That's the kind that you don't get a financial advisor. You get him the $1 million, but you keep the $100,000 yourself. You know, do what you got to do. You know,
hey.
That's the pocket change at that time. That's a lot of money. But two things. So like I said, where I come from, that's life changing. So for me, I was like, I'm not that guy. I'm going to leave, and I'll be back. But it also had the status of who I was too, so I knew that as well. So do what you got to do. So I left. He called me. Get your ass on the plane. We go on the wall. I think it was Washington preseason. He didn't start me. He put me in with the goddamn scrubs, bro. Willie and everybody eating hot dogs on the sideline, laughing and shit. So he puts me in. So now all the guys on the other side, they really going. You know, they trying to make the team.
Yeah, trying to make a team.
Yeah, and they trying to.
Tyler.
I'm getting cut and all that. I was like, man, you know, Willie and was clowning, laughing, right? So we comes back in. Next day, had to come in on Monday. I didn't even take my stuff off. I was at the table eating breakfast, still with my clothes on. You know, Bill came by with an envelope. He sat it right to me. He's like, fucking asshole. So I was like, open up the check. $85,000. Docked me 3 days.
Damn, bro. Freaking Bill.
Hey, that's Bill for you though. You know what I mean? Bill, he docked me this fucking 3 days, man. So I mean, but we, like I said, we got a great relationship and the respect from there. But it was just at the time, I wasn't the one. I made sure that she was clear though, man. But you gotta put your foot down sometime, man.
Now, what was the similarities and differences between him and Parcells and Pete Carroll, and was to you, and then you went to the Jets and you went to the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. How was his ship? How was that?
Man, I tell you what, you know, coming in and getting
what made him different?
What made Parcells different is, you know, he was well, I'm gonna start with Parcells because that's who drafted me. So Parcells was the master manipulator when it comes to the mind, and he'll make you so pissed off psychologically. You'll run through a wall. You want to prove to him that.
Phil Simms used to tell me crazy stories about that.
He told me I was gonna be the first rounder in NFL history to get cut in training camp. That's the part. He's like, what the fuck is that like? You're gonna be he called me to the side. He's like, listen, right now you're working on being the first rounder in the history of the NFL to get cut in the middle of training camp. I'm sitting there like, and my stupid ass, you know, at the time, you know, just being me from Alabama, I'm like, well, do what you got to do. You know, like, come on, I'm gonna whoop all that ass. Do what you got to do. Stupid, you know what I mean? But that's just
what made you though.
That's just challenge. Who I was, you know what I mean? And then eventually, you know, he was like, man, he was the best, but he always rolled me. And it was one particular game where now I'd established myself as kind of a physical and aggressive, and he was like, you know what? You got everybody scared of you out there. All right. But this week, this guy's going to kick your ass. So he was talking about Michael Irvin. We was going down to play the Dallas Cowboys, and Michael Irvin, I think he had just hit, you know, like I said, Aeneas Williams, one of the greatest. You know what I mean? Look up to Aeneas, trained with him, but he gave Aeneas the business. You know what I mean? It was like 9 catches or something, like 200 some yards and shit. I'm like, damn. So Parcells challenged me, saying, if he do that to Aeneas Williams, because he said, you're damn sure know Aeneas Williams. You know, that's what Parcells told me. He going to kick your ass. But guess what? I'm putting you on him. You know, you think you good. So, man, went out there, ended up having 2 picks. I think got defensive player of the week, all that stuff. But I wasn't even thinking about playing, Michael and the challenge of him. I was sitting there thinking I got to prove Parcells wrong for fucking with me. I'm going to show you that I'm not the one. And I had to take it out on Michael at the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's how my mentality was. But Belichick, that's how he got the best out of you. Belichick, he's going to sit you down because he was my DB coach, which I loved, by the way, because you had to do the least amount of studying when he's your coach because he done did it all. Everything that he says is going to happen is going to happen. It's going to be 1 or 2 things. And what I really fell in love with the way he coached, he was my DB coach. We were playing the Saints. He said, look, if they line up in this formation, tight end here, guy on the top of the numbers, if he's lined up on the top of the numbers, he's going to do a curl. And my thing was I didn't want to be on the wrong end of highlights. What if he run a curl and go? He's not going to do it. If he run a curl and go, it's on me. So I said, shit, seen the formation is coming. Bam. Sure enough, he did exactly that. Came in, jumped in front of it, pick, and it was like, shit. So now when we're moving, Belichick had you in such a great position mentally that you went into the game so confident and saying that if anything happens, put it on him. But guarantee this is going to happen. And that's how he was as a coach. So when he left and came back, we thinking like, that's our boy. Man, me and Lawyer called him illegally, I might add, at the time because we ain't supposed to, contact him and stuff like that. But that was our guy. That was our coach. So when he came back, man, we were so happy. And then when Bill walked in the building, we trying to go do like the group hug type of, he the head coach now. I'm like, oh, Bill done got a new check and got brand new and shit. But he done got brand new. It ain't the same. But now you had to realize, and it took us a minute, that he's not our coach anymore. He's our coach. And he has to sit there and, treat everything and conduct himself in a certain way. But what he does from a game plan perspective, I've never been with another coach or another organization that is that prepared at all times. And he made you feel comfortable. Even his adjustments, this is what we're going to do. Bam. You just got to be smart. In training camp, we will see shit that we ain't seen in 8 weeks. We going back to some training camp. You got to like, what? We ain't played that since training camp. But for this particular game, or we going at halftime, he comes back, this is what it is. So I think that separates Bill from everyone else is his adjustments and how he looks at the game. You know what I mean? From offense, defensively. He used to have to leave to help Charlie Weiss. He would leave our defense to me. We've been there by our damn self. Ain't nobody getting coached. Because he up there telling the offense what the other defense is doing. He had to leave the meeting so many times just to go up there and help the offense by looking at the defense. He was that much of a genius when it comes to a football mind. Pete Carroll, I like Pete. Pete gave me the bag. He pushed for me to get the bag, but he was a DB guy. But I think his personality didn't mesh well with a lot of other guys because we all interviewed. I interviewed because ain't nobody know was going to hire Belichick. I was like, man, I like Pete. So when they came down, Bobby Greer and all that gym, scrap, I was like, man, we went to the playoffs. I felt somewhat responsible because I gave up the touchdown. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I did. I gave up a touchdown. I was sick to who I think is one of the best ever when it comes to me, matching up. That damn Jimmy Smith was an animal, bro. I just want to put that out there. So, but Pete Carroll, man, the happy-go-lucky guy that just didn't sit well with the rest of the guys because no matter what, come on, guys, don't you feel it? Don't you feel it?
That rah-rah.
Yeah, he was rah-rah like that. You know what I mean?
You're like coming from Parcells is telling you
exactly.
about to get cut in the first fucking training camp.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy's smacking his gums saying it's going to be a great day.
Yeah, exactly. It was a totally different energy, you know what I mean?
And then you get back to Bill, who's in that
more similar to Parcells, and Bill, don't get me wrong, he wanted outside of business. Me and Bill ain't never had a problem outside of contract and business. You know what I mean? But you got to understand, we're all independent contractors. You know that. Yeah. At the end of the day, we're on the team. But when we're talking about this and we have discrepancies about this, he has to work for himself in the organization. You have to work for yourself as an individual, because, hey, it's short-lived. You know what I mean? But anytime about that, he's going to drink with you. He going to have a beer with you. He going to laugh, have a good time. All that good stuff.
And that's, Bill's a computer where, like, if he's doing work, he's just thinking about work. And the one thing that I always liked with Bill, he was honest with you.
Right.
Which he would try to be a little overly honest just to prove his point on certain things. Look, I'm not going to pay you fucking $10 million. I don't mean, $12 million. You're fucking 33.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to be able to walk in 3 years.
Yeah. Oh, he will tell you that.
He would tell you that shit.
He'll tell you that. Yeah.
But what you said about him preparing a team and saying it's going to be on me if it doesn't go this way. Mm-hmm. There are countless times where, remember he'd have those team meetings because it was probably the same, and he'd give you the keys. Look, fellas, we just need to do this, this, and if we do that, this is going to happen.
Right.
We'd sit there and be listening to this shit, and then you'd watch on a Monday when you're watching film, everything that he said happened.
Right.
And it exactly to how he said.
Exactly. I'm saying he took that. He made it easier to do your job because he did all the hard work. And a lot of guys don't want to study that film. So you basically got a coach as a walking cheat sheet. You know what I mean? You can go ask him anything out of the blue. He going to already know what it is. I'm sitting there like, it's at a point where like, how do you know all that? You watched us. You hear offensive guys asking him stuff. And I'm like, how do you got time to do all this shit and know all this?
He's a
savant.
100% a cheat sheet, but he's an asshole cheat sheet. But I loved him.
Right.
He was an asshole.
Yeah.
But if you talk, I've been telling everyone, if you talk to anyone that's in their 30s, 40s, or higher, not one guy liked their football coach. No one's liked your football. You love him.
Yeah, you love him.
I never liked my coach. Who the fuck wants to like a guy that makes you run up a goddamn hill? Who
right? Yeah.
To walk through for a fucking walkthrough for another walkthrough to go and fucking do these dumb drills. We're doing tackling drills in the Super Bowl week. Yeah. Why the fuck?
Yeah.
You don't like it, but we won.
And when you win, a lot of stuff, that's the way it is when you win. But if you go out there and you're not being successful and you're losing, that becomes a problem. But I got a question for you, Jules, because, you came in, you was at a quarterback, and then you're a receiver, and you're developing, and you're becoming like the top receiver, on the Patriots coming from a quarterback. How was that transition for you? Like, who helped you? Who inspired you? Or did you think you can do it?
That was a tough transition, and especially because specifically how hard camps are, and we still had double days when I got in.
Right.
I felt like I was getting cut every day because everything was so new. One of the greatest things for me was to have Chad O'Shea as my football coach, my receivers coach. He was like a king psychologist, great guy of information that, would give you everything that you needed to prepare you. But I would sit and watch film, and I would take mental reps when Wes Welker was in front of me, when looking at Randy Moss, even though he's a different body type, but being able to see his late hands on stacking a defender, like these guys are playing through your hands, but you could steal that even though I'm not him, trying to take from every rep. And it was fucking crazy tough. But like, because the environment I was in, working hard and doing extra and living at the facility, that was like, that's what I thought was normal.
Okay.
So like, I don't know. It took me time to really, because I was always really gifted with the ball in my hand. Like, I could always make people miss in space. It took me a while to learn how to run routes. I needed the experience.
Right, that's
it was
what I'm
the
saying,
practice. Yeah. It was like every practice. Scotty O'Brien was my special teams coordinator, which I had to make myself valuable by returning punts.
So that's where you feel like you made the team was on your special teams.
Well, yeah, returning punts and on kickoff.
Right.
And being one of those guys that could back up guys, but also be a core special teamer. I had to create value to stay on the team. But he would always say this. I'd come in after a fucking practice all bummed out because I fucked something up and got yelled at. And he'd always say, a play, whether good or bad, is a bit of experience. Meaning that bad play, remember that. The great players, the good players, they remember those bad plays and they use it. So like when I would when I was doing one-on-one in cuts or something, we were doing one-on-one drills. And I didn't know how to run in cuts at the time. I was giving my shit up at the top of the route, dropping my weight, and DBs, you guys read that and just fucking break an undercut. And so I remember I got undercutted and I was pissed. And after I heard that, on my outbreaking route, I made that same move where I was gonna do like the in cut, which the guy undercut it and I broke out. And it's just stacking things together and having mental toughness to be able to literally go through just the fucking beating up of the coaching and the grind of an NFL season and the couple reps you get making those reps work. And then, one thing led to another where I got more opportunity. Gronk got hurt. Aaron Hernandez killed somebody. They had to lean on me, and it all turned.
I'm just saying, it's a compliment to be able to say, I'm used to, okay, I got the ball in my hand. You can do that. But you say it's an art, it's a skill. You have to work to be able to run a route, to sell a route, and then catch the damn ball. You throwing the ball. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just to make the team, and not only make the team, but to have the success that you've had and the impact that you had on the game. Man, bro, hey, that's commendable, man. There's much respect. I always say that dude's a dog, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I say that dude's a dog. Would have loved to play with you, man.
It would have been awesome to play with you.
But we was gonna go the fuck at it in practice, though.
Oh, 100%, 100. But that's also what made me better.
Yeah, me too. I like that. I like that type of party.
No, that's also what made me really, really a lot better is when we signed Keeb Talib. Mm-hmm. It was like my 4th year or something, just going on one-on-ones with him, and then we signed Reeve. And you know how practices are. Yeah. We were going one-on-ones every day.
Right. And
so I got to learn. I got to get, I learned what made him not like shit. And I learned, what I had to do to get open on certain things through those practice reps.
Reeve was the most patient corner ever, wasn't he?
Patient and
strong as shit.
He had a long arm, but he had a short base. So usually, there's corners that are tall corners that you get them running sideways.
Can't get out the break. Yep.
They can't get out of the break. But he was like one of those swimmer built type guys where he had a long upper body but a short lower body, and he always was on balance.
Yep.
So he was very patient in line of scrimmage, and he had a crazy offhand jam. And his offhand jam, usually you get like a corner his size. He wasn't like a big guy. He was 5'11". Heavy-handed. You know what I mean? He had a heavy hand. That's so if he got you, but sometimes when a DB would give you that offhand jam, if you were to grind through it and get through it, they're out of position sometimes. He was never out of position. And then he'd also know, like what you just said, when you were preparing and you saw the tight end here and the guy on the split here, you identified formation and it gave you subconscious reaction.
Right.
He would go out and he would be able to call a play just by the situation and our formation, which we all know our plays, but like he was doing that in the games too.
Yeah, no, he was something special.
And then Gilmore came, and it was also great to compete against him. So I would say my development as a receiver was through the practice, through the psychology of Chad O'Shea, through watching Wes Welker and how he practiced, watching the film of Troy Brown, Deion Branch. I would watch their film. I wanted to see the guys catching the balls in this system.
Right.
And we had that. So that, and then practicing against the great players that we had because practice was so fucking hard. Mm-hmm. We practiced hard.
Right. Hey, by the way, I won some money off you, man. I ain't never get to tell you. Thank you. We got the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet on that. Like, I was like, who gon' it was the bookie. It wasn't the legit shit. We ain't have all that. It wasn't all that. I don't know how to do all that. It was just a bet. Like, who gonna get the MVP? I'm sitting like, what time I said?
You could just pay me an equity in this tequila company. It'd be cool.
Hey, I was like, man, hell with it. It was something that like it was some crazy odds, and I'm sitting like, I just gave him. All right, fine. Man, I got $11,000. I was like, damn,
a fitting number too.
$100. It was like
11, baby.
Hey,
I'm putting it on Edelman to get the MVP. Man, I don't know. I mean, like, because it's like MVP quarterback. He got to really mess it up sometime not to get it, because if they have any type of decent game, they gonna get the MVP, man. So I took a chance on you, man. Put my couple dollars down there. Got $11,000 up out the deal, man.
I put money on Sam Darnold this year.
Huh?
I put money on Sam Darnold for MVP this year. 300-1.
Brock Purdy would have had to get hurt.
Yeah, that was the bet. 300-1 on Sam Darnold for NFL MVP.
Yo, so I got one for you too, because I mean, it's like, I know we talking shop, man, but I know you could still play when you left the game. It looked like you can still play now. What was the deciding factor when saying, you know what, I'm gonna walk away?
I could still play. It's just I couldn't play consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And by my last year, before the season, while we were training, I tore the root of my meniscus, and that's what holds your meniscus down. And they came up to me and they go, we could do like a microfracture surgery where it's a 12-month recovery. I was 34. Or you could try to play with it and we'll just treat it. And I was like, all right, let's try to do that. I couldn't walk until Saturday after a game. Like the following Saturday, I would get 2-3 plays at practice just because it was so raw and it was so new. There was no scarring, and we went into a season right away with the fucking shitty injury. I was just mentally fucking drained. You know what I mean? And the little things that were my great parts of my game weren't easy anymore. I had to like do shit. You know, I didn't look the same on film. I couldn't practice the way I wanted to practice. And so like I was like, fuck that. You know, and it just I couldn't run, bro.
Oh, okay.
And then, you know, 2 years, like a year after you retire, you know, things start healing, you start feeling great. I still stay in shape, but I'm not in football shape. You know what I mean? You know, football shape.
Yeah, that's when guys talking about they can still go out there and play. That means it's kind of, you know, come on, man.
I could go play 4 or 5. I could go play 20 plays.
That's where T.O. says that like every week.
I can't get
There's
through
some stories
practice.
T.O.'s like, I can still play.
Oh yeah, no. And the thing is, it's different when like, you know, a guy like, you know, T.O., man, he's a freak of nature. He's a freak of nature. But to say to go out there and play football, I doubt that, T.O., because it's just learning how to fall again, man. I can't even fall and get up.
It's slowing down, too.
It's slowing down, but falling. It's an art to knowing how to fall when you get tackled. I don't even know how to fall no more. I slip. This shit hurt now, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to catch myself, brace myself. No
and
more.
your body can't fall like it used to.
Right.
Like
right.
when you're fucking 20, in your 20s and early 30s or 20s, you fall down at full speed, you get up. Like after the years and years of compounding injuries, you fall down, your body's like, oh, we can't do that right now.
Exactly.
Ain't got no life alert bracelet on the practice field. Man.
Nah, ain't got that.
You
You
can't
ain't
break your
lying.
hip.
Like hey, do you miss it?
100%. I miss the practice. I miss the preparation in the offseason. I miss having something to do always.
Yeah.
You know, you got to create your own routine. Right. I miss, like, you know, the fellas and fighting against Patrick Chung in practice and fucking fighting Gilmore on his first day as a Patriot because we used to battle when he was a Bill all the time.
Right.
You know, like, I miss that shit. Who did you ever fight in practice? Who was the battle? Who did you battle with? Patton, Brown?
You know what?
Givens,
you know
Branch?
Me, you know, Patton, you know, it was like, man,
Chief?
rest in peace.
Hey, what's up, Chief?
Like, Patton was the type of guy.
He would always say
kinda like,
Chief.
Yeah. He the guy that, you know, you just didn't even want to swear around. He was just a good dude, man. You know, Patton come around, it's like, ooh, you know, here come the pastor. You know what I mean? We can't say what we want to say. We can't talk about no girls. We can't drop the F word. We can't do nothing around Patton. He had just that type of, you know, respect. But me and Troy, I ain't gonna lie, Jules, sometimes we be like, man, how you feel today, dog? Man, we going hard today. You know what I mean? And we'll go hard. Sometimes we be like, yo, man, let's make it look good. Yeah. We got the buddy system going on. You know what I mean? It all depends on the day. But when it was time to work, you know, it was time to work, man. You know what I mean? So, you know.
Who are the receivers you loved going against in the league? I mean, we were doing the research. I mean, you picked one when you were getting T.O., Irvin. Right. I mean, your years that you played, because you were also in, you know, the Bruces and this. Yeah. But you picked off Dan Marino.
Yeah.
You picked off Steve Young.
Yeah, my first pick was Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And then you also picking off Peyton. Like your most picks came from Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
But like,
my longest interception was off Tom, though.
I heard that pick six. You're only one off Tom.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football.
I was a little thick with it, but, you know, I got it. You know,
I still
had it. But, you know, I had 10 that year, you know, with New York. But it was one of those things where, and that's what makes the greats great. Because, like, after the, you know, game and Bill, when we walking into halftime, you know, same thing. He came in there. Fucking asshole, you know, just as a joke, you know, still all love. But Tom, the next day, he's like, "What did you see?" And this and that. I'm like, "I got played with your ass for out on the line. Why would you do the same thing?" You know, me like it was the movement because it was one of those plays where it was Givens. First of all, Givens ain't about to run past me anyway. Even if I was, you know, 250.
No matter how big,
I wouldn't worry about him running past me. You know what I mean? But he did one of those short motions. You know how he come half. We used to start out way out there. I knew it was going to be an outcut. And as soon as I seen Tom look the other way and gave that, that it was like a little fake. It was a half-ass fake, which that was not like you coming off really throwing the ball. As soon as he did that, I just stopped in my tracks. I said, oh, he coming right here. And he threw it. You know what I mean? And so I told him that, but it really bothered him and it messed with him. He called me because, like I said, it was great. Always the friendship and the love is still there. And like Peyton, same thing. We gets over to the Pro Bowl, Peyton going to try to fill you up with damn drinks, But guess what? There's some football coming. So what did you think? And I'm like, man, I ain't stupid, Peyton. I'm still from the hood. Don't get me. I know what you're doing. I mean, like all these girls out here in bikinis and shit. We ain't talking about no football, man. We see the sights.
I've heard he's like the mayor of the Pro Bowl.
Huh?
He's like Mr. Fun at the Pro Bowl.
No. Peyton is great. Like I said, he's gonna feed you the drinks and you're gonna have a good time. But if he curious about something in football, because look, that's the competitive edge. You don't never take it, personal, because we all, great friends, Hall of Fame teammates, now. But, at that time, it bothered Tom and it bothered, Peyton that they made a mistake or they let you get one or what was you seeing on this one, man? And I respect it.
Always trying to get an edge.
Always trying to get
hardest
an edge.
Receiver to cover, other than
Jimmy Smith.
Smith.
I say Jimmy Smith because, man, he was so strong. He was so fast. And, I considered myself that a bully because I ain't trying to run with you all day if I ain't got to, even though I can. Yeah. But I'd rather sit and fight. So, they talk about matchups. Jimmy Smith was one of those guys that you can't, intimidate because he can run as fast as any receiver in the league. He was strong. He was tough. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that one right there is like you knew that you had to come to work, and I love to play against him because it was a great challenge. The people that I didn't like to play against all the time is people like yo ass. Because they just running just quick, for no damn reason. It's like they just running. And then the option routes, oh man, that inside option route, I'm trying to get you right now. But that kind of stuff right there, the small guys, it's like, man, give me a big guy. Quick. Give me Keyshawn. Give me Moss. You know what I mean? Give me something like that. Michael Irvin. I like Jerry Rice. I like that. But chasing guys like you, man, shit, man, I hated that.
Who was your favorite cornerback watching when you were a kid?
Always Prime. I mean, but Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, and just a great dude. Overall, you see what he's doing, how he's impacting young lives. But he was the greatest, cornerback that ever played the game. In my opinion, that's who. That was our Michael Jordan when it comes to football and playing cornerback. But the reality is, I didn't have Deion Sanders' speed. You know what I mean? So. One of my favorite DBs who I kind of say, if I had to pattern my game off of, who I looked at, was Rod Woodson. Yeah. Rod Woodson was the real deal. He was fast. Hell, wasn't that fast either. But, he put his nose in there in the tackling, and, he just played the game like, especially growing up in Pittsburgh. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know was good. Rod Woodson was that guy, you know what I mean? So next to Deion Sanders, who had everything, and we talking about pure just cover guys that made our position popular, that made, us get paid like that. Because I was right after him. When he signed that $50 million deal, at the time, defensive players, especially cornerbacks, used to be the lowest paid, and he changed the dynamic of what a cornerback is. And when he got that, I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, I got to get some of that.
Hell yeah.
Hey, on contract negotiation, Jules, man. So it's Andy Wisenchuck, my agent. And, I guess he went to the bathroom. So they was trying to, say, take Deion as exempt. Let's leave that contract because they try to tell you, oh, it was backloaded. It wasn't this. I'm playing dumb. All I seen was $50 million on TV. I seen $50 million. I know how contracts work, but they was trying to say the structure. Bullshit. I seen $50 million.
50 large.
Yeah, that's what I seen. So my agent called me when I was going, because I didn't want to, go in there. He's like, look, just come in here and be Ty Law, damn it. Just come in here and be Ty Law. I said, okay. I come in, and then, he going through it. And what we're thinking about, like Dale Carter signed this 6 years. We're thinking somewhere along those lines, and we can give you this a couple hundred. I said, Dale Carter. And Dale Carter, mind you, was a goddamn animal. I'm talking about beast. But it was $36 million. $50 million. I seen 50. Now, I'm talking to Andy. I said, look here, man. I don't know where y'all come, but Dale Carter, I was like, I'm in my 4th year in the league. They already been there. I was like, man, I could do that in my damn sleep, man. What he doing? Even though it's not like that because he was a freakish athlete.
Talking
but
shit.
We talking shit. And I was like, Deion Sanders did this. That's what I seen. And I was like, look, I ain't claiming to be Deion Sanders, but I'm prime time around this motherfucker right here. Now, you know what I'm saying? That's what I told Andy. I said, I ain't claiming to be Deion Sanders, but I'm prime time around this motherfucker. I said, you know what, Carl? I said, F this, man. I don't even eat beer. I just got up, I took the shit off, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I go back and sit in my car. And Carl came out, and about 30, 40 minutes later, he just got in the car. He just went like this. Give me 5. And then next thing you know, they went into it and it still wasn't there. Because I had just wanted, I said, I wanted 10. Yeah. That was the kind of the mark. If you get there, it was like, nah. And Carl was like, hold on, give me another way. I said, Carl, we in training camp. So now we covering, and Milloy, we crashed, and like it was a dig route I was covering. Lawyer hit me and the player. I thought I blew my knee out. But I was scared. I was like, oh, shit. Got up, I was all right. I was playing timid, somewhat in practice out there because I really thought, because you go across there with Lawyer gonna knock the shit out of you, man. He was one of the most aggressive, safeties that, I ever played with, man. The dude was tough, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, not very big in stature, but he hit like a damn linebacker. He will light your ass up. So, you know what? 2 weeks later, like a week or so after that instance, that happened. Then 2 days later, I was ready to sign. They was like 10-6. I like, deal, sign it. He like, I got him. Hold on. I said, you getting greedy, Carl. Come on, man. Shit, I'm good. Man, called me the next day. So we had the day off. I'm up in Boston on Boylston Street. Daughter's mom, we up there kicking it. I'm going to do a little shopping on the off day. Yeah. He said, you ready? I'm like, what? We got it done. I'm like, he said, you buckled up? I'm like, shit, I am now. What? Man, he told me what it was. And at the time, it was 7 years, for 50. And I'm sitting like, what's the signing bonus? That's when it was the 14. I threw that shit in the park. I got out and I was all over the street. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Did anyone recognize you jumping out now?
I jumped out the damn car. She was like, what's wrong? What's going on? Hey, I was overjoyed, man, because you work so hard to say you for your family. And at that time, man, that was a big deal. But now, it's the standard to live up to when you get in that type of contract, when you sit there saying that, you got a contract to the equivalent of, even though you're talking that shit you wanted, but now the reality set in, okay, you got to live up to that contract. You got to live up to that if you the prime time around this month. The shit that I'm talking. You feel me? So
have to.
Hey, guess what? It worked itself out.
Now, prime set the bar.
He set the bar, bro.
What corners are you watching nowadays saying that they're good?
Stephon, I always like Stephon, even when he was a Patriot. I know he's getting older, but he's working on his Hall of Fame resume, right now. But, I think somebody that can go out there and play with anybody, I think Stephon Gilmore is still, one of the better cornerbacks. But you got guys like, Jair Alexander, Ward. Jalen Ramsey is, he can play. He can play ball. But I still don't see anybody right now that I can look at and say, who's following the best guy all over the field? They're not doing that anymore. I'm like, that's when you want to get
games changed.
Games changed when you ask for that type of money. But if you're a starter right now, you can ask for that type of money because that's where the market is at. But when we were playing, when Deion was able to jump and say that, because he was Deion Sanders, he did stuff that everybody don't do. And when I say that I'm prime time right here, not saying that I'm Deion Sanders, but for what we do and for me to be going to the number one receiver, game in, game out, no matter what the defense was played, you know what I mean? Hey, I know I'm going to Keyshawn. I know I'm going to Wayne Corbett on the third down, so I'm changing. I know I got Marvin. That I wouldn't even sit there and mess with Reggie, not saying that Reggie Wayne is a Hall of Famer himself, but at that time, I ain't gonna waste my time over there because, hell, I got to handle this over here. And like I said, Reggie Wayne was just coming into his own. So I got that. We go play San Fran, pick your poison. You got Jerry Rice, then you got T.O. You know what I mean? I got that. So that's why I feel like, is missing Darrelle Revis. He goes to the guy.
There's not many of those anymore.
Exactly.
Everyone's running that Seattle 6.
Exactly.
They run that cover 6, which is it plays like man, but you get to play with your eyes in the backfield.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you have that guy going to that flat zone.
Our back was turned to the. Well, that's why you don't see as many interceptions or something like that, because our back was turned to the ball because we here and we're covering that guy. You know what I mean? And then you talk about guys like a Champ Bailey and all that. We went to the top dog no matter what, and I think that's what's missing from the game.
Do you think they've gotten away from man coverage because of how they're calling the game now, because of PI and illegal contact on every goddamn play?
You talking about Tyler Rule?
The Tyler Rule.
Talking about Tyler Rule? That's the one.
Yeah, hey, you know what?
You got an excerpt? Don't you have something from that?
We were talking about it this morning. It's ridiculous. And this game that we're talking about today led to the Tyler Rule.
Yeah.
Jeff Fisher, Bill Polian on the rules committee in 2004 in there crying. And they got to enforce the rule. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, but it started with Mel Blunt, so I can't take all the credit. It started with the Mel Blunt, and that's me and Mel's thing now. We had rules, so I look at it as a compliment. But the game
we
was
would have
played
fought.
we would have been fighting. You know what I mean? Absolutely. But guess what? We've been drinking a beer afterwards, though.
No, 100%. But you could just tell when I watch your film. You're a veteran on how to hold and you know what I mean. That's what the great DBs. They're the slickest. Everyone's cheating out there. Yep. It's just you gotta grab back here and then you fucking fling your little body and undercut. You know what I mean?
What I see now is people are going out there grabbing. But if I'm running next to you, I'm sitting there doing this.
Hit.
I'm banging your arm because you can't run. And now when you're so used to me fighting you, you can't get into your route because you're worrying about me now. You know what I mean?
So it's another thing to think about too. With the ball's in the air.
Exactly. So when we running side by side, all it doing is looking like I'm running with you, but I'm really hitting. I'm really hitting you so you can't go. But that was my little thing because I had to slow you down, man. I can't be getting in no foot race, all the time. You know.
So
what I mean?
You used to hit guys on.
And
you cut them off.
It's always an angle and try not to open up the gate. So when you open up the gate and they sit there and just go right, now they done stacked you. Yeah. I'm always going to use that sideline as much as I can. You know what I mean? If I can get these paws on you, I knew I was stronger than most. I might not have been like that in stature, but I knew I was stronger. And once I put my hands on you, it's over. You know what I mean? It was only a very few receivers that can muscle through that. You know what I mean? So from a receiver standpoint, it was a little different now when I can imagine if I happened to go against Gronk. I would try to have to use more quickness now. I would have took the challenge. I would have loved the challenge, but like being coach, to get around him, bro, man, I'm telling you, he was a monster. He was big as Gronk and strong, country strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kind of grew up and learned in that era where you got the tough receivers, the big tight ends, and then the quick guys. So every week it was something a little different for me.
I tell you right now, the receivers right now are pretty damn good though. You look at
but at the same time you can't
hit him.
You can't hit him and all that stuff.
But you look at Jamar Chase, that dude is he can outrun you. He's strong, country strong. Cincinnati.
Right. Yeah, I know. I'm saying. So you say he's the best as a receiver. You look at him and say
I just think he's just got a lot of everything. He can 50-50 ball you. He can route you. Mm-hmm. He can outquick you. Justin Jefferson, same thing. These guys, but you can't hit him like you used to.
Yeah, and
it's harder to play.
And guess what?
Could you have dominated in this generation?
I would adapt. You know what I mean? But I'll say if I played the way that I played, I probably wouldn't get no check. Yeah. You're going to get fined on everything. You know what I mean? But that's the way it was then. You didn't go across the middle. Like I said, you got, Rodney Harrison, Milloy. You talking about Atwater, Brian Dawkins. You talking about Ronnie Lott. You go across that middle if you want to. You know what I mean? Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. I mean, it was the game was a little bit different.
And I saw a transition in my career. It was probably 13, 14, 15 is when they started calling shit.
Yeah.
Because I would watch all my plays after the year, and I'd look at 15, 16 of my catches across the middle. I'd be like, early in my career, probably would have been out for a week.
Yeah.
Concussion. Wow. You know what I mean? Right. Because the guys are going for the interception, they're not blowing you up in as much, or they're hesitant because they can't blow you up.
Right. So it made you more confident going across the middle.
100%.
Wow.
Because I remember when I got hit by Brian Dawkins my rookie year. I saw a star for 3 weeks. I had to learn how to play and catch with the fucking star because this dude lit me up so goddamn hard.
Right. Yeah.
He was Chancellor from fucking the Super Bowl. He lit me up. But as it went on later, like guys, it's just changed, and it started with the farming systems and Pop Warner, the 7-on-7 camps, and you gotta get interceptions to get paid,
right?
So guys, you ain't getting knockout hits and getting paid anymore.
But people, as players, you adapt to what the game is and say, okay, now instead of looking before, the knockout shot was just as good as a turnover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now you're looking to make that play. You're looking to anticipate and make the play. So yes, you can get paid, but at the same time, it's taken away from the game in my opinion. I really think that the game is watered down. It's one thing with the quarterbacks because they're the face and all that. You need a quarterback. Everybody knows that. Protect them. But everybody else on the damn field, man,
they got rid of the. They just got rid of the
drop.
The drop
hip drop tackle.
They're about to.
What?
Yeah.
Where you get a guy from behind, you just drop your weight. They're gonna make that a penalty.
How else you supposed to now if you pick them up and suplex them? That's a penalty too, ain't it?
You're not supposed to tackle. They just want points.
Yeah, I think Vegas messed up the game a little bit. You know what I mean? Because think about it. Why do you have to sit there and tell everybody who in and who were? Hey, it's fair play. Whoever out on the field. As out on the field, but the reason that you have to report injuries, you have to do this is because of Vegas and the points. But they don't want players to bet, but they still want to make money that way. And I understand the game, but I think when you're starting to let so many other outside forces, because it's the bottom line. And like I said, I understand business as a businessman.
Yeah.
But come on, man, it's taken away from the game, man. The shit's soft. I've played for 20 years. You'd have played for 20 years nowadays.
As much as it's taken away from the game, the ratings were up 23% last year.
From a player standpoint,
you think they give a fuck about the players?
Saying, but from you know why? And guess what? You know why too? Because everybody betting. They're trying to see what they bets is. It probably ain't half the people that's watching not true football fans. Guess what? They betting on it. So guess what? I'm trying to follow my money. Let me see if I'm gonna get paid. So it's like the casinos. They not making money from the food and all that good shit you see in there, the restaurants, the liquor and all that. They making money by you going to the table.
Yeah.
And guess what? The sports books, you getting fans that's watching the game because they trying to watch their money because now you can bet on it. I mean, it's going to automatically, it's going to be a snowball in there. And like I said, it's at the bottom line, but the guys are getting paid a lot more money, which is great. I'm all for it, but I don't like, for instance, as a defensive back, and this is where it's a little personal to me.
Oh, it's tough.
If you're running the route, this is Julian Edelman. He quick as a goddamn cat. So if you come across the middle and you catch the ball, I got to let you get 2 feet on the ground before I hit you. See, when the game is moving so fast.
Is that a new rule?
It's like you got to put feet down and have possession. Randy Moss, he too goddamn fast.
Yeah.
So and the game moves too fast. I'm running fast, he running fast. So guess what? I was taught if you touch the ball, I knock the shit out of you as soon as you go like this.
100%.
That's how we learned to play the game. So to have to stop that and have to not go full tilt and risk getting fined and risk losing money, I think it's taking away the game from a player's perspective. But I understand
it
trying
is
to protect
from
us.
Our players that of our generations and the generations before us, but the young players aren't taught what you were taught.
Right.
So the game's just changed.
Yeah, no, it's definitely evolving. You know what I mean?
Well, let's go back to around January 18th, 2004. And this is a segment where we go over pop culture of things going around the world. Number one movie was Along Came Polly. You ever see that with Ben Stiller?
Yeah, I can't remember it, though.
Jennifer Aniston?
We were weirdly just talking about this the other night.
Yeah. So when
I know the title, but I can't remember the movie.
I know you remember the song.
Oh yeah.
Outcast. Hey, yeah.
Man,
this is my high school prom right here. I know you were out here winning Super Bowls. But
Yeah,
I was at
yeah.
prom over here shaking
prom,
like
damn.
a Polaroid
Damn, you make me
picture.
feel old, man.
Victor Wembanyama.
Okay.
He was born.
Man, that's the next face of the league, man. To see somebody that tall, that skillful do that, man, the league is in trouble. Because, imagine when he puts on that good 15, 20 pounds.
He needs to.
Yeah.
He needs to. It's just, the kid's 19.
Right.
Wait until he's 24.
Exactly.
25.
Hey.
Who's your NBA team? Being from Western PA, they don't really have one.
Oh, well, I've always loved, of course, everyone's a Michael Jordan fan, but I was more of a Kobe fan than anything. But being from Pennsylvania, when Charles Barkley, Allen Iverson, I was always rolling with the Sixers, just being a Pennsylvania guy. But I had individuals that I liked to watch and And Allen, man, and he was a football guy too. You know,
he was a monster.
He was a beast
Seven
at
cities,
football, right? So
Virginia, stand up.
Allen Iverson, man. You know, you talking about. I look for dogs and like say, who is a dog? Sometimes you can be skillful, you can be tall, fast, God given, but when you have a dog, that's who I love playing with. And when I watch Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, you know, Jordan, not only were they great, they was actually some damn dogs. You know, like Rodney Harrison, dog. Yeah.
I think if our Celtics can get a little more dog in them this year, we're winning it all.
You know what? I would love to see it too, but they need to have that dog.
You know what I mean?
Them,
Just gotta.
You know, in the finals. You know what I mean? You can't play past.
Can you
can't play
explain the dog?
Huh?
Can you explain?
I think
the dog.
The dog is a mentality. You know that and under any circumstances, are you gonna break me? I'm gonna win. I'm gonna every play, even if you knock me down, I'm gonna get back up. I'm gonna come at you the same full tilt all day. And when adversity strikes, you still don't drop your head, and you got that mentality that I'm gonna beat you this play. If you beat me, the next play, it's on. Do it again. You know what I mean? So
glass eaters.
That's what, like, we looking up right there. Kevin Garnett. Dog.
All-time dog.
What's the Mount Rushmore of dogs?
Ooh, that's tough. I would say, you know, okay, let's just throw out a couple from each sport. Lawrence Taylor. Dog. One that just retired, Aaron Donald. That is a dog. Ray Lewis. Dog. Rodney Harrison. Dog. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, I'll say Rodney Harrison because Rodney Harrison is supposed to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
No.
I'm going there. I say, okay, no. Hey, Jimmy Smith, dog. Julian Edelman, dog. And not just because of, you know, I looked at the journey too. Yeah. Okay, you can make plays, you can do all this stuff, but to know how tough he was to be able to go out there and do that and go out there and do what I do. I told Troy Brown, you got me fired, dog. Because when I got hurt, here come Troy Brown playing DB, you know, and did some dog shit, picking stuff. He led the league. He led the team in picks. You know what I mean? So when you guys come in and do that and can do more than just your job and you do it with so much passion and you're successful, because no one expected you to be who you are. Maybe you expected it, but when you get drafted, or did you get drafted?
Yeah.
Okay, you went 7th round. Damn it, that's basically a free agent bullshit.
But you almost wish you were a free agent because you don't have to do 2 years.
Huh? Exactly.
They get you for 4.
But no one expected you when they brought you in. They didn't expect you to turn into that. Only person that can believe that is a dog, and you got to believe in yourself, because basically when you get drafted that late, you're coming from another position. You are basically there for a tackling dummy. Yeah. You're there for guys. You're there for guys like somebody established like myself to beat up on. Exactly. So for you to make it, you know, you a dog right there, and then to put out there and perform, and then you had some of the top corners out there that didn't want to see him. So that right there, you fit in the dog. Tom Brady was a dog. Because from day one, he came in there and he wanted to compete. He gonna talk shit, and I'm telling you, we used to light him up. But he coming right back at you as a dog, gonna head bunch you. He gonna fight you, and that wasn't the quarterback that we seen before.
I got a real quick question, because I know his octave. He gets super. Come on. Was it even higher when he was younger? Was it like come on?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? You know, when he throw out that, you know, you say something like, you know, fuck you. You know, he's a little higher. You know, he'll sit there and F you back and all that, but he will come at you, and he was not no punk. And that's what, you know, then, he ain't no punk right there. That was like a compliment. Oh, he ain't no punk. You know, nowadays it's like he ain't no bitch, but he ain't no punk. You know what I mean? So that was Tom. I look at like receivers. Like, again, Hines Ward was a dog. He wasn't fast. He wasn't in, but he will sit there and rock you. You know what I mean? He will blindside the shit out of you too. So you always got to keep your head on the swivel. So I look at the tough guys. Even you know, like I said, T.O. Randy Moss was a dog. You know what I mean? Because he was tough. Chris Carter, Michael Irvin. He will fight you all damn day too. You know what I mean? So I look at so many tough guys, but like just skill. Everybody in a dog, man.
Now, are you born with a dog, or can you develop the dog? Because I'm sitting here looking at my 7-year-old daughter, And I'm seeing some of this attitude and effort on the field right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if we got dog in her. we got puppy.
You know what?
We might have puppy in her.
My mom told me, when I was younger, she said, you used to get your ass whipped. You wasn't that tough. But I remember one time that I came home grinding, and she made me go back out there and fight. Like you gonna go out there and fight, and I started development. So yes, you can develop a dog, and you
could develop dog.
Yeah,
develop the dog.
Develop the
dog. You could be born into it too.
That's a T-shirt. That's a
T-shirt, baby.
T-shirt. It's a Ty-Log T-shirt.
That's right, baby.
I developed over time, and you get that confidence, and then it's like when you realize that you got to believe in yourself. That was my whole thing, was always believing in myself, no matter what anybody thinks.
That's what a dog is. A dog is someone who believes in himself no matter what the situation
right.
is.
Absolutely.
If the situation is against you, if the world is against you,
right.
Still think you're going to do it.
Yep.
Because when you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
And they say the same thing with everybody asks me with the vodka. If you go to any liquor store, the vodka aisle is always the biggest because you can make it with so many things. You can make it with, corn, wheat, rye. Even making it with cheese, grapes, all that. And they was like, why would you go into vodka when you got a guy like Tito's out there? Everybody, I love his story. He worked and he's the number one out there. But, my attitude is, hell, I can cover Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, T.O., Marvin Harrison. Damn it, I can cover Tito's ass too.
That should be a T-shirt right there.
That should be a shirt right there. That's a commercial.
And much respect to Tito, for real, man, because his story is incredible, but it's inspiring in a way. But you can't be afraid to go out there and give it a shot. If you believe in your product, which I believe more so than anything, I know my product is good. You know what I mean? So if you put
bet on that man in the mirror.
Liquid the lips. You put it in there, hey, you ain't going nowhere else. I promise you.
Speaking of dogs, how crazy is it? There was, I was looking at Steve McNair. He was a dog. Aaron McNair is a dog.
Yeah, oh, damn right.
How do they have co-MVPs? It was Steve McNair and Peyton Manning. You guys beat both the MVPs to go to the Super Bowl this year. I hope you know that.
Oh, I didn't. There was co-MVPs.
Wild.
I've never heard of that.
That's wild.
Because we beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah,
we beat them in the playoffs.
You beat two MVPs to go to the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, that is crazy. But how do you get a co-MVP? Like who's the panel? I got co-MVP of the Pro Bowl one year, right?
Yeah,
it was crazy, right?
How many interceptions you have in the Pro Bowl? Because we were watching it.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
So, but co-MVP. So it was myself and Keyshawn, and ain't no car sponsor. Bro. I'm like, how in the hell we got us a goddamn plaque, man? I'm like, where the car at? You know what I mean? Wasn't no car sponsor. I'm always like a little short end of the stick, even the Super Bowl, right? People, according to the papers, not taking anything away from GOAT Brady, but I was supposed to be an MVP. That's what they said, right? That's the first year that they went on the internet. Came up short, but got defensive player of the game. Get what Brady got? A car. Disney World. You know what I got? Goddamn Belova watch.
Belova watch.
What they call Belova? You Belova? Yeah. I got me one of them defenses.
Can't even be a Rolex.
Man, that's what I'm saying. So I'm always like, a little dollar short.
I'm right there with you. The year I got Super Bowl MVP was the first year they didn't give cars.
No, you ain't have a car sponsor on yours either?
No car.
Oh, you got the plaque, huh?
No, I got that ball, the silver ball.
Where?
Right there, that silver ball. That's the
you bullshit.
That ass. Tiffany's.
Oh, Tiffany's?
It's Tiffany's.
Okay,
right.
okay.
It's nice.
It comes with some nice gloves too to handle it.
It's your ball, but you caught it, you signed it, and tell Tom to sign it, man. Shit, I'm gonna tell Tom to sign anything. Corvus, hey man, sign that right there. Sign that right there. You know what I mean?
Break out the Sharpies.
But damn, they had a car sponsor.
That was the first year they stopped doing the car.
Huh? Wow.
Because you remember, like, Deion used to drive his Cadillac.
Yeah.
Tom used to drive. They always drive their Super Bowl truck in every once in a while.
Yeah. Wow.
Never got one.
They would bust out the Super Bowl car every once in a while.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Because Deion came back to us and he'd have this fucking 12-year-old or like 8-year-old fucking Cadillac. You're like, what the fuck is this 8-year-old? Oh, this is a Super Bowl car.
The year before the Pro Bowl, I think I was second, because I was getting the picks and car sponsor. Yeah, me and Keyshawn got a no sponsor. The next year, car sponsor again. I'm like, God damn. I took a free car.
All day.
You got to pay taxes on it, though.
I was doing all right back then. I could pay the taxes.
It's more just the story.
Huh?
It's more of the story. That's like your car.
Yeah, exactly.
We had Peyton Manning on here, and he said he took that shit seriously in the Pro Bowl. He wanted the car.
No, the game was a little bit different. We did play because, man, it's so goddamn expensive over there, man. So by the time you fly all your people over there and stuff like that, it's like, man, when it come nut cutting time, hey, third, fourth quarter, like in the third quarter, fourth quarter, you see where you at? It's time to play ball because that's the difference in the checks. You know what I mean? You go from 12,000 to 25,000. So, hey, we trying to get that 25 G's back then because these plane tickets and all that shit was a lot of money bringing everybody over there. You know what I mean? So, we got up there.
Jackie.
Oh, should we run through these teams real quick?
Okay.
Set the stage for this game.
Let's set the stage. We'll jump into the game.
This is back to these 03-04 Indianapolis Colts led by Peyton Manning, as we talked about earlier. Some other dogs on this team: Marvin Harrison, Dwight Freeney, Reggie Wayne. Even had a low-key dog at kicker, Mike Vanderjagt. Guy was kind of yoked. He was a tough kicker. Jeff Saturday, Robert Mathis, Dallas Clark's rookie season, Cato June. They won the AFC South. For all you division heads out there, this was only the second year of the AFC South. Colts were in the AFC East before that, so we had plenty of time seeing Peyton Manning before that. And this was also a year, 03 Peyton Manning, where he still kind of had that rep of a guy that couldn't really get it done in the playoffs. 0-3 record entering this game in playoff games, even though he didn't win MVP this year. Go MVP, that is.
Did you guys hate the Colts as much as we hated the Colts in our era?
Yeah, I mean, hell yeah, man, because we felt like, and like I said, love, Peyton, but you always ride with your guys. Yeah. But even with all the success that we was having, Peyton was still the face of the league. It wasn't Tom Brady. It was always, Peyton and whatever he was doing, and of course, you look at how many, Hall of Famers, they got up there. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. And they got all the love. They got the love, man. So we used that as energy. We thought we were the better team. We thought we were tougher. They were more, I guess
finesse.
They was more of a finesse team, but we always try to look at us as a tough team. You know what I mean?
Get physical with them.
Exactly.
Just keep it close to the fourth quarter and run it down their throat. Exactly. and that's what it was. And you knew they were going to put the game all the time in Peyton's hands. So as defensive backs, we love to take that challenge. So that means if they put it in your hands, you got to be whooping my ass. Yeah. So that's how I was like, no, it's time to play. What were the keys to stopping Peyton?
You know what? Switching it up, as far as like the looks, even though Peyton is smart enough and know enough as a quarterback that we messing with him just like he messing with us. Like he coming up there doing all these hand signals half the time, ain't saying shit. And he say Omaha, what does Omaha mean? But we would just start hollering out dumb shit too. We'll holler out Omaha, we'll holler out beef jerky or something, just to try to just to combat it.
This is straight football combat.
Right, but for me, I've never in my 15 years of playing ever was threatened by a quarterback. I took a different approach, and I always respected it. I mean, I don't care if we're playing against Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, whoever it was. I'm like, I got to worry about you. I'm covering you. So if I got you covered, what the hell I got to worry about, them folk? If they're so I'm doing my job right here. A lot of people get caught up into the quarterback, but if you got that receiver covered, he has to do a perfect ball if I'm draped all over you. So I was never threatened by a quarterback because I had enough to worry about, covering the receiver. And the only quarterback that I've ever played to where he made you think like, damn, he different, Dan Marino. He was the only quarterback that I know that can place the ball, at least from my experience, somewhere where the receiver got the best chance to catch it and I couldn't. He was that guy as far as that for me.
Perfect pass is uncoverable.
His ass off too, though. Huh?
The perfect pass is uncoverable.
Right, and he was the only one that can do it like that. And then he didn't have a wind up. Dan was like, he was able to just short arm and flick that thing, and you had to pick it up. So when I got my first pick off of Dan, man, I found his ass after the game. Man, I was a Pittsburgh guy. I had him sign that ball, man. I was a fanboy. It was my second year in the league. I mean, Mr. Marino, could you sign this?
Did you do it?
He was a good sport. He signed it for me.
I saw him at the Super Bowl at dinner. He was so cool.
Yeah, man.
Dan's cool.
Dan is cool as hell, man.
He was just cool, sitting back, chilling.
But
still cool as a cucumber.
Exactly. Great play. I even my first NFL interception was off, the great, Jim Kelly. But when I got that one off of Dan Marino, like I said, being a Pittsburgh guy, I was like, man, I was not getting on that plane back to New England until I get this ball signed.
That's crazy. Because I remember, by the end, that's what guys are doing to Tom if they picked him.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Hey, Tom, will you come sign this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's some crazy shit.
Yeah,
You got to
exactly.
be a legend for people to have the balls
Yeah.
to take the ball that you picked off of them.
Exactly.
I mean, you gotta shoot your shot.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. I mean, and then, but it's also a sign, of respect. And I knew I was getting old when we were playing. I think we were playing Tennessee, and I'm playing against one of the young guys. I didn't even know who he was, And after the game, he caught like a little bullshit ball. Wasn't no touchdown or nothing like that. He wanted me to sign it for him, talking about, man, I had you on my wall, man, this and that. I'm like, shit, I'm getting old. It's time to go.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm getting old. When you got somebody that was a little kid and telling you that you were on their wall and all that stuff, and it's like, man, and want to sign it like a little, little 7-8 yard.
We're not that
pass.
young.
Yeah.
We're not that young, as they would say.
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine if Dan Marino played in this generation?
You got to be a little mobile in this generation now. Dan Marino, them big ass cleats. His might have been bigger than Tom's.
Yeah.
Right there. Them big
By
ass
the end,
things
he
up
was
there.
like this.
Yeah,
barely walked.
exactly. But his
slang it.
arm talent was incredible, though. I mean, people, yes, man. When you talk about pure, throwers, and accuracy, Dan Marino was that dude. I really never picked off a ball that hurt your hands like Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe had one of the strongest, arms. Like he was like.
What about
shit.
Favre? You get Favre?
Huh? No, I didn't get Favre. Favre ain't mess with me. We was at the Super Bowl when we played him in '96, and Antonio, Freeman, good friend of mine, he's like, before the game, how we just size each other up, warming up, and Freeman was like, yo, you ain't gonna get no action today. And I'm in my second year. I'm sitting there like, oh, they about to try to set my ass up. So now I'm really on guard, And sure enough, that whole game, Brett came out before that. He's like, all right, you ain't gonna get no action today. That's a young buck, 2-4, you ain't gonna get no action today. So I'm still thinking that coming from Freeman and him, they're trying to set me up. Showing up. He didn't mess with me.
Oh, it's crazy. We were interviewing Ernie, and he said specifically for when you guys played the Colts, he would dedicate an hour of the day just to study them, and he would start it in November, early November, just because he always knew it'd come down till you had to get through the Colts. And do you remember the game plan for this specific game?
You know what?
He said you guys completely changed it up. You went to cover 4 because they used to love that ram pass, that seam. And so you guys covered up the seams with the cover 4 in this game, and it fucked up.
You know what? I was always worried about it. Like whatever Brewski said do, I was playing. I was always I was manned up there. Yeah,
They that's what they used to do with Reeves.
Yeah.
Where you could be playing zone, but they would just say you're over here.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I was, with it. And man, whoever was on my side receiver, I covered it like it was man. Man, like say we might say we're rolling or anything, we'll give you a shell. But, Brewski and them, you got to give those guys so much, credit because, not only are they protecting the run, you got the great Edgerrin James up there, them running up the seam with those tight ends and Dallas Clark and those guys. It's like, bro, Brewski had a hell of a job trying to keep my ass right. He trying to make sure everybody else right, do his job. You know what I mean? Man, Teddy Brewski was all time great, man.
All time. Now, Super Bowl week, we'll get into the New England Patriots, but real quick, do you remember anything different going in this year, guys? This was your third Super Bowl.
Second.
No, this is
third.
You guys lost your
Green Bay.
year.
No, we lost my second year. Then we won the Rams.
Yeah, and
yep,
this will be your third Super Bowl appearance.
Right
Did you feel like you had an advantage
for Carolina?
Yeah,
Carolina.
Did you have an advantage because you guys experienced it?
Yeah, we thought we had an advantage, but at the same time, we were also those guys before. On the come up. We came in and hey, we wanted to win. So this is the last game, as you know, playing in as many as you've played in, man. It's like anybody can win that game. And they started off, hit us with the big one, quick. You know what I mean? It was a Jake Delhomme, he running around, he talking all kind of shit. But now
Delhomme used to talk,
we had Tom Brady, you know what I mean? And now by that time, it was when he was with us first go, that's Tom Brady. You know who he started to be? In that time come? Tom motherfucking Brady.
Tom motherfucking Brady.
See, that's a difference. See, we had Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You had Tom MFing Brady. Motherfucking Brady. See, that's who he was at that time. So when you have that, and we knew if we stayed
You
in
had
here.
beer drinking Tom.
Exactly.
I had chiseled jaw, avocado eating.
Yeah.
Beautiful hair.
Yeah.
Skin complexion.
Exactly. And
how do you smell good after practice, Tom?
Hey, so when you get that, man, we knew what we had. All we had to do was now, you don't mess up now, we don't mess up, because we know if we give you a chance, you done already proved it time and time again, not just in the big games, but any game, we gonna win. And Tom, like I said, I've never seen anybody like him when it comes to being so cool and calm under pressure, except one man, football, and that's Adam Vinatieri.
Adam Vinatieri.
Oh, my God. Mr.
Damn.
Clutch.
Yo, bro, you talking about somebody is like no fear, like imagine going up there and you just got to take that free throw. As easy as it might be to have to take that, all the pressure and everything riding on you. That's why I say they need to bronze his damn foot. Like Tom need to have his statue, of course, but they need to have a big ass replica of Adam Vinatieri foot somewhere around on that stadium. You know what I mean? Somewhere put Adam Vinatieri foot.
For real.
We had 5 field goals in this game.
I didn't even see. After watching the Dynasty, I didn't even know he was on the team.
Huh?
He wasn't talking shit about Bill, I guess.
Breeze through those Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Jackie set the
Absolute
stage for
beast.
the Patriots.
All right, let's run through this roster. We've talked a lot about this era, Pats. A team full of dogs. We thought the Colts had some dogs. I mean, God dang. They look like cats compared to
This
these
is
guys.
New England dogs.
Ooh.
These are the
Damn.
dogs, baby. Brady, Kevin Falk, Patrick Pass, Antoine Smith, Deion Branch, Troy Brown. I mean, that's just offense right there. On the defense, we got Jarvis Green. Huge this game. Sacking left and right, it seemed like. We got Ty, of course, Anthony Pleasant, Richard Seymour, Ty Warren.
Damn, you look
just
at
some
that
beasts.
roster.
This defense
Willie McGinnis.
gave up
Yeah.
a league low 14.9 points a game.
Yeah.
Didn't lose at home all season. 8-0. Bounced back from what people call the Lawyer Milloy game in week 1.
Yeah.
Got whooped 31-0. Then ended the season doing the same thing, reversing the score, beating the Bills 31-0. 14-2 record. I mean, heck of a team.
Man, look at that list. Ooh,
What was your reaction when they let go of Lawyer?
Man, that was some bullshit. And I ain't gonna lie. I was hurt because that was my brother. That was one of my best friends on the team. Man, we kind of like that was the DB. That was our room. Me and Lord, we was the two heads of the room. And when they let him go, especially being a captain, every year. Laurie was that type of guy, man. He was a great leader. Like that's the only thing, like I clown a little bit about, his speeches sometimes, is that you can't have something to say every day, goddamn it. I mean, sometimes we could just go on the fuck home, man. You know what I mean? But that was Lawyer for you,
Been
man.
here
It's
for
my
12
brother, love him to
hours.
death.
Been here for
and
12
so
hours.
I was hurt, and then when they brought in Rodney, so now it was that thing because I wasn't the biggest fan of Rodney, when he came in because. One, he wasn't with us and respected his game, but he was always the competitor. And what really turned me off from Rodney, and like I said, I didn't even know Rodney like that at the time. I just knew he was a, hell of a player. But Bill Belichick, he would come in and put on the tape for the DBs. And we ain't even playing San Diego. I'm like, what the hell we watching San Diego for? He was like, you see this? I'm like, seeing what? We ain't playing them. It's Rodney Harrison. Running around like a madman, just everything he was doing, 100 miles, just knocking the shit out of people. And I'm like, well, what the hell that got to do with us? He said, this is how you play. Ain't no fucking loaf in here. And Rodney wasn't, like, Rodney's in San Diego. You know what I mean? He ain't get here yet. So I remembered that, then I'm sitting there like, man, F Rodney Harrison, man, fuck him. You know what I mean? And when he came, it's like, okay, now he's part of the team. You see him play, much respect. Whatever, but then they let Lawyer go. So then that went back to where it's like, hold on, man. He came in here with that bullshit, and now they done cut my brother, this and that. But Rodney was just one of those type of guys that, man, you had to respect.
He earned it.
He earned it, but, man, and he didn't need to earn anything from me. He was already Rodney Harrison, but to see his work ethic, his practice habits, and he made you step your game up. And then when you're out there on the field with him, you be like, oh, my God, this is different. It's like, for instance, example. Lawyer, I'd be like, lawyer, I see this. I'm about to jump this shit. He was like, you paid all that money? Cover that motherfucker. that's lawyer will holler that shit. You get paid all that money? Cover that motherfucker. I'm saying, I see someone jumping. Rodney, hey, Rodney, I see this, man. He's like, got you. Go. Take it. You know what I mean? It was just that type of dynamic. It's like lawyer was ready to go knock the hell out of somebody, and he would put it. So it was a great dynamic. I could have just imagined if we can all play together, man. Yeah. With Lawyer Milloy and Rodney Harrison. They're like you talking about no fly zone. You couldn't go nowhere. But Rodney Harrison, you know, like I said, was one of the greatest to ever play the game. And like I said, he should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I want to say that here right now because I've been saying it forever. There's only 2 guys in the history of the game that got 30 picks and 30 sacks. Ray Lewis being one of them. We praise Ray for being, you know, the all-time great, you know, the GOAT. But somebody did it before him. And his name is Rodney Harrison. He did it first, but he don't get the same admiration or anything for that particular stat. And if you look at the stats with all the Hall of Famers, Rodney Harrison is right there with every safety that's in the Hall of Fame right now and getting looked over for what reason, I don't know, but one of the best that I ever played with.
Monster. I mean, we heard about how hard he practiced.
Right. And Bill loved it, but he made you step your game up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Rodney, you know, respect because – you know, you just don't give out anything. He sit there and took his respect, and the way he played the game, man, you had to sit there and say hats off, man. And a lot of times you got to follow his lead, man. That's the type of guy that he was from a leadership standpoint, the way he played the game. And if I'm going to go to any foxhole, damn it, we're going to get out with Rodney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the unsung hero of the team this year?
This year?
In 03.
Oh, tomorrow in 03, I think the unsung hero, when you look at all those names, I always say Troy Brown. Troy Brown is just one of those guys that when you need a damn play, Troy is going to be the one to do it. You know what I mean? And
strip fumble, return touchdown.
That's what I'm saying. Like Troy Brown was an absolute dog, just like yourself. Troy got cut a couple times, you know, I think twice. And, you know, drafted later, you know, they've been trying to replace Troy Brown for I don't know how damn long, but you couldn't. You know, you couldn't throw him away. And for him to, you know, like I say, I look at you guys very similar in the way you played the game as far as being tough, being the dog. It ain't but you as a receiver that went over to play DB that came from where you came from. Troy was more of a returner, you know, as well. And to come play defense and being that tough guy, making the plays when it mattered most, being small in stature, you know, big attitude and crazy dog when it comes to, you know, competing. That's who I look at and say, man, Troy Brown did it.
Yeah.
Wasn't a high draft pick, wasn't the fastest guy, wasn't the biggest guy. We called him Little Dude. You know what I mean? That's what Troy's nickname, Little Dude. Little Dude to whoop that ass. You know, don't sleep on him.
Yeah. Troy, he's always been, and he's class act dude.
Absolutely.
Class act.
Absolutely. You know,
I didn't get to, he was always around as a coach, but, you know, we'd always have a connection just because, you know, he knew what I was going through. And, you know what I mean?
He connects you on that play because he went through it. I'm telling you, they tried so many times to replace him or bring somebody else in, and Troy always ended up. It's kind of like Otis Smith, same thing.
Yeah.
You know, Otis Smith, he was a great mentor to me. You know, one of like I wouldn't be the player that I am without, you know, a guy like Otis Smith that's taking me under the wing and telling me, you know, what to do, how to be a pro.
Yeah.
You know.
Jack, let's see this game lead off.
Lead up to this game, this is the AFC Championship game. So to get there, the Patriots had to beat co-MVP Steve McNair and the Titans. 17-14, a tough one. And then Denver was balling out. They had to play in the wild card. Or I mean, not Denver. I'm looking at Denver here. Indy had to beat Denver, put up 41. Then they beat Kansas City, put up 36. The offense was clicking, which just made the performance that this Patriots defense came out and laid even that much more impressive. The Patriots hadn't lost since week 4 playing the Redskins, so they were just on a roll. And this was the first playoff meeting between the Patriots and Indy, the first of many, which is crazy. Brady owned the Colts up until this point, it's worth noting. 6-0 in his starts against the Colts to this point.
That's where his first start was against the Colts. After the Jets game, you guys won, then you guys lost too.
Oh, yeah?
That's right.
Oh,
Back in
okay.
01.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's when we hit him for 3 right there.
That's right.
Hit him for 3.
Hey,
Ooh.
can't talk about this
man,
game
leave
without
me
talking
alone,
about that.
right? Leave me alone that game. Usually have certain games that you just hot and ain't nothing that you can do that nobody can cover you. It was one of those games where that is nothing that you could have done, you know, to beat me. That you just feel that. I ain't felt that way in a long time. It don't come all the time. I tell you that, they lying. But that particular game, I didn't care who you threw out there in front of me. I just had a feeling that you just got that glow, like Bruce Leroy up in this motherfucker.
Yeah, I heard the NFL planted this thing in the football this game. It was called the Ugly Finder. So whoever had the most, it was just the ball would find the ugly guy. Oh, you got 3 of them?
Yeah, hey, man, I love that chip. But you know what? Like you say, we always one day short, 1 week short. Why couldn't I do that in the Super Bowl?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
I know.
You fine? I'm glad that it happened to go there. But
still got the dub though.
Huh?
Still
Yeah, we got the
win,
dub. But that's the kind of game that you want to feel and you want to have in the Super Bowl, man. God,
Jules, you got to be careful because Rodney Harrison had the other interception.
Oh man.
Oh, he'll hit you. He ready to fight.
Actually, he might hit me.
Yeah. I'm too old. My back bad and all that shit, man.
Yo, that one-handed one in the second quarter, like that was it, man.
Oh,
Wait, that was third drive. That was his third drive.
Yeah, man. And that one right there was when we had it was one of those cover twos where they try to get you back on that 7. Yep. You're gonna get the good jam off Bennett and he floated it. You know what I mean? I said, you know what? I was willing to give up. The low underneath one. You know what I mean? And Peyton trying to win, Peyton being confident, and he put it up there, and that just started everything, man.
Now, were you licking your chops when you saw the forecast?
32 and snowy.
Oh, absolutely. Because you know what? It slows the games down, man. It slows the game down, and yet we knew we were tough guys. You know what I mean? So this falls right into us. I mean, you guys are playing in a dome. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a different ball game out here. This is real deal football. You know what I mean? So
shit. In 13, when Peyton was on Denver in the AFC Championship, we go out to fucking Denver and we're praying like, I think we're gonna get snow. It's gonna be a shitty day. It turned out to be 75 and sunny. They beat us.
Yo,
we were hoping for one of them days.
Hey, man, you know what? And like after games, like this, okay, we win in there, but when we went to play the Rams, bro, on the greatest show on turf in the dome, everybody thought that we was going to get our asses whipped. I think to this day, we're still the biggest underdogs from a betting standpoint.
14 points.
In Super Bowl history. That was flat out fucking disrespectful. You know what I mean?
Ernie asked me to ask you about Bobby Hamilton. We shocked the world. He said he found out in 2001. You guys were what, 0-4 or something, or you're 2-2,
mm-hmm.
and he felt like the team clicked in a practice, or it was in the year before that. And when you motherfucked Bobby Hamilton, you and him got in a fight. Because
yeah.
He didn't come in and communicate the motion.
Yeah. Me and Bobby, man, that's my guy right there. Like you talking about. Hilarious dude, but Bobby was always super intense when it came to football. He had to fight his way to get to where he was at, and dude was coming down, and I didn't call out the crack.
Yeah,
and it didn't even hit Bobby. It was one of the other outside linebackers.
Yeah.
He lineman at the time, and so Bobby, of course, come being Bobby getting up in my face, and now that's where the alphas come in at. So I'm about to go at it, with his ass. 300-pound ass, but I was like, man, that's when the Aliquippa come out.
Yeah.
Ain't no bitches around here now.
Yeah.
Let's go. So we start going at it. Then here come all the linemen. Here come the DBs, knowing that we can't beat them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From the size, especially when Willie's big ass come up in there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Debo.
Yeah, exactly. Debo come up in there, but it was just one of those things that's how we were. You know what I mean? So. You expected me to do my job. He was protecting his D lineman by coming at me saying, God damn it, call out the crack. You know what I mean? Yeah, I could have called out the crack, and I think I did. You might not have heard it, but if I didn't and he didn't hear it, it's still, my fault. But you are not about to come in here and act like you my mama. I'm a grown-ass man. So you're going to talk to me with a certain type of, respect, and that's how it was. But that's just how we did. But guess what? What we doing after practice? Where we going? You know what I mean? Where we drinking at? And it's all love. You know what I mean? We will sit there. We can go to blows on the sideline in the practice. I'm talking about it'd be some real scrap.
Yeah.
Man, afterwards, man, it's all love. We eating wings and drinking.
That's what Ernie said, though. He said that was when he saw the team started to gel.
Yeah.
I said to Ernie, I go, Ernie, when did you think you guys were going to be a Super Bowl caliber team. He goes, it was a third down practice, week 5. We were 0-4. And it's when Ty and Hamilton got into it. I sat there and was like, starting to stick. It's starting to stick.
Yep. Hey, B. Hammond, he going to come right at you. But it was like, a lot of times, the big guys, they think they're going to come at the DBs and think it's going to, no, that's not happening.
I got my ass beat by Derek Burgess because it was when I was on scout team. Remember he played with the Raiders and we signed him for a couple years? And he I had to do something. It was on the fucking card where I had to go hit him.
Uh-huh.
And he mushed me for no reason after the play, and I fucking mushed him back.
Uh-huh.
We almost started throwing blows, and Derek Burgess probably hated. He didn't like. He was kind of in his own world.
Oh, yeah.
He felt like an outsider.
Introvert type.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
After that, he was my dog, though.
Oh yeah.
He respected the fuck out of me.
You know what?
Because we always went to blows.
It was a guy. I don't know if you remember his name. His name was Sean Morey. Went to Brown University. He was a receiver.
Yeah.
No one expected him. I don't know. They gave him a tryout out of Brown receiver. He was a 11, 12-year special team guy, just running down on kickoff. Yeah. He was like, a Matthew Slater at that time. He was that type of guy, and he had some success. Played 11 years.
Yeah.
Who do you do when you come into the yard? He tried to pick on the big guy. I'm the guy with the name, right? So he came right at me hard all day. You know what I mean? And we got into it, and I had to twist him up a little bit. But after practice, I had to give him some love, man, because look, he trying to make the team. I'm already established. He's a free agent, basically just got an opportunity because, he went to Brown. Yeah. He earned everything, man. So I look at Sean Morey. Oh, he was a dog because he wasn't afraid to come at me. Sometimes if you want a guy, you go out the wrong guy, you going to get cut.
100%.
Now, Sean, man, he always going to have my respect. And I haven't ever got to tell him this in person outside of the time afterwards of practice. It was good, man. I had to, buy him a beer, man. I said, man, you keep working, bro. You keep working. You got to respect guys like that.
Got to. I mean, I was one of those guys. I had to do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But can you walk us through beat for beat the pick six? It's an easy one.
In Super Bowl 36.
That was one of the easiest, picks, because I always give credit to Vrabel. Vrabel, made him errant throw. It was one of those things where, he did the same thing that Indy used to do and start putting Marvin in motion. So they put Isaac in motion, so I couldn't get him at the line of scrimmage. And it was one of those places you had to back off, you go in motion, and you just seen it you coming. Vrabel got through so clean that, okay, now I'm just reading him. And then it was an errant throw. So I said, I'm going to be hesitant in case Isaac, because Isaac can route. Yeah. He will route the hell out of you. So it's like, okay, you playing for the double move. It might be, because I didn't know, because he wasn't going in motion like that until then. So I was kind of trying to feel it out. So what type of game is going to be? And Vrabel came in there and he wind back to throw it. I'm like, you bullshit. He threw it. Come on, man. Come on, Kirk. You know what I mean? And it was coming like it was slow motion. I was sitting like, oh, this is the Super Bowl. That's the kind of shit you drop, because it's so easy. It's so easy, and you would drop it. But, once I got it, man, all you seen was flashes, and it was like everything went blank, and, it's like you hear the screams and it just went silent. And I'm running down there and just flashes and knowing that this is it, in the Super Bowl, and got that pick, and the rest, we rode the hell out of it. You know what I mean? We rode the hell out of that thing, man.
What was the hand? Was that just like...
I don't even know what I was doing. It's Super Bowl. I just threw it up. You know what I mean? It's something that I've never done before on any of my picks or my pick sixes. I didn't throw it up. It was just something that just happened, and I threw it up there, and it's been the iconic picture ever since.
So damn iconic.
Insane.
Oh, man.
Let's get back into this game real quick. Mm-hmm. You guys start off hot. Mm-hmm. But you knew it wasn't going to be over because of Peyton Manning.
Right. I mean, you think about the people that they had on there. Look at their skill guys. You know, you got Edgerrin James, Hall of Famer.
A whole lot of Hall of Famers with a whole lot little amount of rings.
Yeah,
we got a whole lot of we got a lot of rings, but no Hall of Famers.
Right, exactly. But you talk about some true dogs. You know what I mean? And that's what they had. I was like, Edgerrin James can play. Marvin, I mean, he wasn't like a tough guy, but Marvin, he's gonna goddamn compete. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think he's pretty tough. I read a story that didn't he chase someone down for rent money once?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I ain't gonna say that. Yeah, Marvin. Yeah,
Marvin's
Marvin.
fucking crazy.
But I mean, he was a quiet guy. He didn't talk a lot. You know, he wasn't like those guys that do a lot of talking.
I want to sit and hang out with Marvin Harrison.
Oh yeah, you know what?
He
was one.
You
know what? So saying
sure
he's not a dog, I was saying that from being a vocal. You know, most receivers shit talkers. You know, like Isaac. You could be warmed up. He'll walk through you. Shit, he was that type of guy trying to get into you. Joe Horn a talker, Ocho a talker. You know what I mean? Even though they was tough, you know what I mean, and great players, but it was something different about somebody that's willing to fight you and not try to just get in your head. It's like, I ain't got to do a lot of talking.
He's more assassin.
He was, he was that type of guy. But you look at their offensive skill position and their guys, man. It's like, God damn. So it's never over. It's never over with them, and we knew that. And we was giving it all that we got. And, of course, Peyton Manning, you give him enough opportunities, he's going to make some plays. So you always got to respect your opponent and know that they're going to make some plays too.
Now, you didn't play any special teams?
No.
That's when you know you're a really good football player.
I played my first year. You know what I mean?
First year.
But then what we did take pride in, and if Troy needed us, me and Lawyer, we love to be the gunner, like the guys that holding up the gunner. So
vice.
that was us on the vice. So my thing, we would always try to like the guys on the side. Mike
you guys
Jones,
scored
right
17 points with special teams.
Hey, we try to knock the Gatorade down. That was the goal. So when we're out there as the gunner, we line up inside. We want you to go outside to ride you there, but
so you can get them out of bounds.
No, not just get him out of bounds. We're trying to knock over the Gatorade table.
Hell yeah.
So that was the goal, to try to get him in the Gatorade. You know what I mean? And we got a couple people like that, through the years. We lock them up. We trying to knock y'all's fucking drinks down. You know what I mean? And especially if we was on that sideline. But that was pretty much the only special teams. Kickoff did that. And you know how you're supposed to go down there. And I was never like the wedge guy. I was always the one calling fold as soon as they kick it. You got to go down there. Fold, so I can come in the back. I'm not going down there. You tougher than me, bro.
You hear about this new thing? I think they're gonna go to that new XFL shit.
What is that? I couldn't follow it.
So they're gonna have 10 guys from the kickoff on the opposing 45, I think, or 35, 45, and then a 10-yard gap with 9 guys for the return team. So there's a 10-yard cushion. Kicker's still way in the back kicking by himself. So they're taking, we're all usually on that our own 35.
Right.
They're bringing it all the way here. So there's a 10-yard cushion, and you get 2 returners. You can't have any. You can have a wedge on the front line, but it's gonna. I don't know. It's fucking weird.
You're taking away from great players, and I'm glad that he got in the Hall of Fame, which I think that's going to really open up the doors for specialist guys like yourself. Devin Hester getting in, man. That was an exciting part of the game. When you're taking shit and taking the punt returns, that's an exciting part of the game, man. How did you feel like that? Did you feel like that was, like, especially you were more of a, pure receiver then, but do you feel like that they took away from you specifically when you were doing more the returners when they start changing these rules?
No, they haven't really changed punt.
Well, I'm talking about the kickoff.
The kickoff. The kickoff. When I was covering kicks, but it wasn't ever in my generation. By the time. Yeah, it sucks because I was boys with all the teamers for my first 4 or 5 years. I hung out with the special teams guys, and that's their job. They're just eliminating jobs.
Eliminating jobs, but then the exciting plays. I played with Dante Hall, man.
Yeah.
I mean, beast.
Joystick.
Oh, man, beast. You know what I mean? You sit there like, I was out on the field when Troy Brown and when we doing that in Pittsburgh in the game. I was out there on the field as the vice. You know what I mean? So it's like that's a big part of the game, kickoffs, man. You do this, you don't get to see Devin Hester.
Yeah.
How many kickoffs did you take up?
I took 4 punt returns. I had 2 called back. That's it.
Yeah, you had 2 called back?
Yeah.
Damn.
I had 4. I would have had 6.
Oh, wow.
You can never get mad at a guy trying hard on kickoff or in the kicking game.
Yeah.
Because those guys, you get a holding call, you get a clip. They're just trying to work their ass for you.
Right.
So Dane Fletcher and Patrick Chung.
Even impact like a Matthew Slater. I mean, I used to love watching Matthew on the kickoff. That's the only time I look at the kickoff.
Yeah.
Because Matthew Slater going to be the first one down the field. He don't give a damn who in front of him. He running through it. He found a way and make the play. But it's taken away from guys like him because guess what? You running down there fast as hell, it's going to be a touchback. It's
the new rule. The new touchback, if you kick it in the end zone, they get it out to I think the 40 or the 30. It's some big ass number.
Yeah.
So they're They're trying to make it where you want to kick it in the kick zone, which is the 20 to the goal line. It's fucking weird.
Wow.
It's like some.
Wow.
In theory, it's going to make a little bit more like returns happen and just make it safer. But
We'll see.
It's going to be complicated and hard to follow.
Jackie, break down this game,
All right,
Bubs.
let's put a bow on this bad boy.
Okay.
This was a game that defense of the Patriots really ran this thing. 5 turnovers, 3 picks by Tyler, 3 sacks by Jarvis Green.
I didn't know he had 3 sacks.
The
Damn.
pick by Rodney. And in our mind's eye, we were talking about this earlier, it really felt like a blowout, like as we look back on it. But Peyton
came
had
down,
the ball.
yeah.
I mean, the Colts had the ball with under 2 minutes left, marching down the field, trying to tie this thing up. But got to stop. Adam knocked through a field goal, put us up 24-14 to ice that game. And this became the second NFL game without a punt. Crazy, right?
No so wait, it wasn't no punts?
No punts in this thing.
Damn.
Wild.
There was a punt.
There was an attempted
That
punt.
was a safety.
It was a safety. It went by the punter, and he kicked it out of the back of the end zone for a safety.
You know what? I didn't know that. You know what
Wow.
that calls for?
Shot o'clock.
Shot o'clock. Okay, now we got to do the pure. We got to run the gauntlet. No, this is the pure.
Is this pure potato?
No, this is corn.
Corn?
6 times.
This is all natural.
Yeah, all natural. Let's do it. Hey,
This one is-
to success to you guys, man. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Hey, and beating the shit out of the Colts.
Yeah, absolutely. Love you, P.
Always like that.
Cheers.
All respect. Now, what's the aftermath? The aftermath, New England goes on to beat the Panthers in Super Bowl 37.
That's right.
Second Super Bowl in 3 years. Mm-hmm. Pretty much starting to get that dynasty talk.
Dynasty talk.
Yeah.
Dynasty talk's coming. Indy would continue to struggle in the playoffs until 2006.
Beat the Bears in the Super Bowl.
Beat the Bears in the Super Bowl, which Ernie thinks that
That was the Super Bowl.
that was the Super Bowl. Was that game that they lost in 06 because
The Bears
weren't a caliber team.
Bro, they had Rex Grossman starting at quarterback. And I mean, no shade to Rex, but come on now.
Yeah, I mean that one. I mean, we knew what was going to happen there, and I think it was more riding on the line than just Peyton getting his. About Tony Dungy being one of the a few African American. At the time it's going to be African American. Another one.
Yeah, him versus Lovey.
Yeah, it's Lovey. Getting a Super Bowl ring, and you still. You're looking at all those.
I
type
love
of things,
Tony
man.
Dungy. I just hate the Colts.
Huh? Exactly. No, Tony Dungy was awesome. Like Tony Dungy would be
He seemed
a
like
guy
a
that
good
you
dude,
that
and
you
he's
that you
smart.
want to play for. And he played the game.
Bill coached him.
Where?
I think he coached him on special teams back in the
yeah?
day.
Damn.
I remember I saw an interview where Tony Dungy was talking about how Bill was a special teams coach.
Wow, I didn't know that, but it's different. Like, I used to have the shit with Bill sometime and Eric Mangini, my DB coach, and they'll say like a certain technique. I'm like, have you ever stood across from Randy Moss coming full speed at you? You just say to do this, that, I'm like, man, hell no. But when you say the same thing to Herman Edwards, oh yeah. I've been there. Look at the film now. I've been there. Yeah. I've been there, Tyler. They always say the full name. I've been there, Tyler. I've been there. So Herm's like, it's a little bit different when they play. So Tony Dungy, he played at the highest level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just one of those, things that, when I went there, it was such a difference playing like Belichick. He can see it, he can know it and all that stuff, but saying they didn't experience it. They didn't experience that speed and that, and what's really going on out in the field. So sometime as a young player, and that's as a player in general, now that, do you understand what's really going on out here?
Yeah.
Do you see that man over there? Do you see the freak, that damn Randy Moss here, T.O. and all? Do you see that? But
Old man Genie.
Herm will let you know real quick.
I've been there, Tyler.
Yeah, I got 30-something minutes to shoot at. Hey, I got 33, 36 or something. Like he'll let you know that he got 30 plus in this league. So you ain't about to sit there and tell him, what's gonna happen.
Herm.
Yeah, hey man, love Herm, man.
Herm's funny.
Oh,
You can see
best
it.
speeches ever, man.
I mean, we watched him on ESPN.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Oh, hilarious, man.
How about Eric Mangini?
Lil Bill? Yeah, we call E
Lil
Lil Bill. Yeah, Lil Bill.
Bill told on the teacher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, but when I went to my first stint with the Jets, it was the second. No, the first stint was with Herm, and then I went back again. After I left Kansas City, and I went to the Jets for a second, and that was Mangini was there.
So you were there during all the Spygates,
huh? Man, I was there late because I came in like at week 8. You know what I mean? I was week 8.
So he ratted.
I was
he
there.
ratted Daddy out, and then he signed Daddy's.
No wait, I was there. I was there with
one?
the Spygate. I think I was in New. What year was that? I was still in New England.
Spygate was 07.
07.
Oh no, I was gone. I was. You know what? I was in Kansas City. I came back in 08. So but just going there and with Eric, because now we had a different type. Like when I went to the Pro Bowls, I always bring Eric because he's the DB coach of his family, and we go over. So we had a different type of bond and connection. Yeah. So I used to just try to tell him, just be you. I think when people leave Belichick, they try to be Bill. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it's only one Bill. So I think even with Josh, I was there with Denver.
I still can't believe he the whole Spygate thing.
Exactly, but it's like,
that's some,
why I didn't even know. I didn't even know that.
That's Archie Bunker.
But Eric, he was like, hey, I know where all the bones buried. That's what the room. I know that. So, and if you was doing that, which, like I said, as players, we never knew anything. You know what I mean? So it's like when they say this and that, like, when have you ever came in and seen another person's practice or anything like? I've never experienced that. So when people say that, what the hell are you talking about? But then if Eric was to say something, if he was the one that called out, okay, Bill, you know who you're playing too. And don't do that shit. Or if something is really going on like this, you can't do that on the player on somebody that you was doing. So it was dumb on both their parts, if that was the case. You know what I mean? But I've never seen personally. Have you ever seen since you've been there? Have you ever seen it when it was all coming out? I've never seen nothing like that.
No, but I mean, I was watching that documentary, and I'm sitting there, and was there? Eric wasn't on it. Mangini wasn't on it.
Did Mangini come on it?
No, he's been banned from football. If you noticed it.
Huh?
Yeah, I know he's doing TV, but ever since he told on him, he ain't got a job.
He did have a cameo in The Sopranos, though. That was pretty cool.
Huh? He did what?
He was in The Sopranos for
one
episode.
Is it the Belichick effect, or is it someone saying, like, I don't want that in my building?
You know
tell
what?
secrets?
You know what? I don't know if you would say if he got blackballed, because he had after he went to Cleveland. So he still was out there, but you gotta win. You know what I mean? And he didn't do that. But if you was the one that called out and you participated, if that was anything going on, it's like, hey, that's hypocritical if that was the case. Like, I'm gonna keep saying that because I know people try to soundbite. I never seen the shit. But no Belichick, you got to be a damn fool if you do that to somebody that know where the bones buried and secrets and all that stuff.
But I think it's kind of like baseball. These fools are stealing each other's signs all year long.
Yeah, that's why I tell people, it's like, if you see somebody with a coach doing this.
When can you ever do anything when you get the signal?
Right.
It's like you can't communicate it until the next game, and things are changed anyways.
Yeah.
But I'm just still mad at Eric Mangini.
That was some bullshit.
You can't be going. The guy literally, like it's kind of like a little baby bird coming out of an egg. Bill literally sat on your ass and hatched you. And you're going to go away from the nest?
Right.
And you're going to go try to kill Mama Bird?
Right.
I don't know.
I think, like I said, I get what you say. I think it's dumb if that was the case, it was dumb on both their parts, because it's like, if some situations like that was happening and he knew it, not to do that, to him, because he can, I don't get it, man.
You're either a dog or you're a rat. If you're a dog, you think you can do it. If you're a rat, you're gonna rat him out.
I gotta see the rest, because I didn't know. And if he did that and they said it on the thing that he did it, that's some rat shit. That's rat shit right there.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's all speculation. It's all speculation. Probably get sued after this, but
we just gotta say allegedly.
Allegedly.
Hey, I gotta see the rest of it. But like I said, I have never seen the stuff for me personally to be able to watch somebody press like the Rams still mad. They still
Marshall Faulk's still crying.
Marshall Faulk's still pissing. That's my guy too, right there. Marshall, bruh,
one of the greatest.
It's over, man. Bruh, you talk about hell to prepare for it, man. Marshall Faulk is a beast, man.
Get you in and out the backfield.
Yeah, exactly. Hell of a receiver. Marshall, if he wanted to and he trained at it, he probably could have been a productive receiver. That's how good he was, out of the backfield.
That's what a lot of people say.
He was that good.
The Sproles route.
But we still whoop y'all ass.
West Coast. We all know what you got to do at the West Coast.
Yeah.
You got to get physical. Knock them off their timing.
Exactly. Greatest show on turf, the best track team, all that stuff. And, like, they were extremely, extremely talented, man. You know, you talking about Torrey Holt, the same thing. Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne. You talking about Isaac Bruce was one of the best routers to ever play the game. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about stop on a dime. He was like, I'm like,
Ricky Pro.
Yeah, Ricky play. Yeah, Ricky can play. You talk about, and then you had Torrey Holt over there with that speed that could take the top off. Anytime you had Kurt Warner, then Marshall Faulk, you had we had somebody in there, guys just rotating with Marshall Faulk.
They had
And the greatest show on turf.
Azakeem as a forward.
Beast. Yeah. Beast, yeah.
But that was a fun team. That was a fun team to watch. I was playing Madden and shit. You played
that
team.
Exactly.
Or you just get Vic.
Right, and then Marshall Faulk, we had somebody mimicking him, and it was just different guys rotating the number 28 because the job was we ain't going to lose with Marshall, so somebody hit him. So you talking about rookies is sore. We all put in a little something to give them extra check, after we won that game. Before we played the game, we all chipped in, and all the guys scout team guys that played Marshall Faulk, we gave them a little bonus.
I love that.
That's how we were as
a real team right there.
That's what we did, man, because they was getting the shit kicked out of them all week.
Well, I tell you right now, I didn't give no bonuses when we would play against a DB unit that was notoriously known for holding, and Bill would he would literally line up the scout team guys offsides in us, holding us. They're gonna fucking hold you in the game, Edelman. What are you gonna do about it there? You know,
really? Wow.
He would do shit where he'd make them hold us just to get us, frustrated at practice because the team we were playing. I won't throw no teams under the bus, but you know who you are. Be holding the whole time. You know what I mean?
So was there ever a DB? Like, who was the DB that you was like, God damn?
So just like you said, you said Jimmy Smith. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Because Revis was probably the best corner I played with, but one of the guys that I hated matching up against was Jimmy Smith of the Ravens.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was a big, long corner, but he could get in and out of breaks. And I remember I was training at API over in out here in LA, and I remember him coming out for the draft. I think he went to Colorado.
Yep.
He was a first-round draft pick. And this dude was big, and I remember doing his cone drills. Like, this guy's fucking fast. He's quick. He can get out of breaks. Mm-hmm. And it was just, we used to play them twice a year all the time in the playoffs and regular season. He knew how to use his hands.
Right, okay.
He knew how to play me. I thought he was always, he was very competitive. And then, he got older. He lost a little something. We all did, but.
Right.
Yeah, but that battle, I just remember because we played in so many important games against each other.
Right, okay.
I just always respected him.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Jackie, what's the legacy of this game?
The legacy of this game, the Patriots beat Peyton Manning once again, go on to win Super Bowl against the Panthers, and keep the streak rolling. If you'll remember, they won 21 straight games from week 5 of 2003 all the way to week 8 of 2004 when it came to an end against the Steelers.
That's why I broke my foot.
Damn, I forgot about that.
That's why they won that shit.
Jones fracture?
Huh?
5th metatarsal?
No, I had a Liz Frank.
Liz Frank.
Yeah, I had a Liz Frank. So that's why the tables turn right there. So, hey, my bad, fellas, man. Because at the time, it was because of my assignment. I had Hines wherever, and if you can see before I got, I broke my foot that game. We had stuff under control. You know what I mean? It was about to be a wrap, but then you had to change. And like I said, Asante came in and went on to have a hell of a career. You know what I mean? You can argue that he's Hall of Fame.
Whoa! You said Asante. How come Asante hates Bill so much?
Man, I don't know, man. Because like I said, Asante's little brother, man, and I think it started.
He's been out there.
No, I think it started with the contract stuff. So I think Sant felt disrespected. Especially when I was gone, he was up next to get his contract, and I think he felt like he's proven himself, which he did. You look at the numbers. He put it out there. You know what I mean? Asante Samuel got some damn numbers. You know what I mean? He can play. He was the next guy up. They released me after I broke my foot because I had this huge cap number coming up. So I got released. Asante, he stepped into that role, got Super Bowl, and then guess what? He's sitting there making plays. So when they didn't give him a long-term contract and they franchised him and all that, it played on him because, man, he wanted to be appreciated for what he's done. If you're not, let him go and get some money, and that didn't happen. So he went out there, balled out, and I think that Asante has never forgotten what he went through to get to where he was at, end up going to get, his money, elsewhere in Philadelphia and Atlanta, continued to make plays. So, much respect to, little brother, you know what I mean? But I think his dislike towards Belichick stemmed from him not giving his money and not giving him the respect that, he thought he deserved or rightfully deserved.
You would have made that pick, though, in Super Bowl 2007. You would have made that pick, though.
Oh, hell yeah.
God, I'll never forget that drop. Damn.
Hey, but you know what? He got plenty. I mean, Asante, he was a ball hawk, man. He was a goddamn ball hawk. He's always around the ball. Find him, and the one thing that he can do is catch the ball. You know what I mean? And of course, we all, I think I would have really secured the MVP. But guess what? It just wasn't magnified like Asante's. He picked it, it's over. I dropped a pick in the Super Bowl that it would have really iced everything. I dropped it right in my hands. Everybody look at the one that I caught. You see, hand up in there, you see that one. It was another one that I should have caught, but I got blinded by the lights and all that, and I just I dropped that shit. I'm like, God damn it. I dropped that in the MVP with it because now I had 2 picks. They were down in the red zone about to score, and they end up scoring, but it was a pick that I would pick off any day of the week, and I dropped it.
But you made one.
Yeah.
Big one.
I made the big one, but that would have iced the game right there because they would have stopped their score drive. You know what it is.
Yeah.
That was like I was coming over. I was covering Isaac shit.
Sometimes it's too good to be true.
Yeah. Yep.
Did we miss anything, Jack?
The other big, we talked about this earlier, but of course, after this game, the tie law rule was enacted, changing the NFL as we know it today.
For the worse.
Yeah, for the worse. Pro offense. We're turning into basketball here. I mean, that's another big takeaway from this game. But this
the
was
tie law rule.
heck of a game.
Hey,
Man, your
that
rule
shit
is better
sound
than
good.
mine.
Huh? You got one too?
Yeah, the spotter rule.
What that?
Remember when I got blown up by Cam Chancellor in the Super Bowl? And
Yeah, he fucked you up pretty good.
Well, ever since then, because I was staggered getting up, I still played. Now that they put in the spotter rule because of that. Because
word?
now they'll pull you if they think you got a concussion.
Right. Wow. Damn.
Yours is better than mine.
Yeah. That's a little better than that. That's a little better than that one.
Hey, and of course, this game and a whole slew of other great games led to Ty getting in the NFL Hall of Fame in 2019. Hell yeah, baby.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Can't forget that.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Ty, what is the coolest Hall of Fame perk that people might not know?
You know what? We used to be able to get. I don't know if they still got it, but we used to. We have something that we can go to any NFL game. Whoa! So all you got to do is make the call ahead of time, and you and a guest can go to any NFL game.
We talking box or we talking?
No, like on the field before the game because you got your Hall of Fame credential,
That's
and
so cool.
you can go to anything outside of the Super Bowl. Now that shit don't work there, so they get you with that shit. So they ain't gonna let all of you just walk in, but I think they give you up to like 5 or 6 games anytime you want to go to, and you just gotta call ahead of time. You know what I mean? Like the regular season, if I'm out here, like I took advantage of it, out here before to go see a game. You know what I mean?
So
To go do that, and then we have a lifetime, thing with Topgolf. So, we
Topgolf.
I think we go get our first round or something like that, or for free.
Hope I make the
Topgolf.
Hall of Fame.
We got to start the campaign now. Let's go.
Oh yeah, Topgolf. Hey, damn it, I'm coming too, y'all. Hey, I'm the official vodka of the Hall of Fame.
Come on,
Topgolf. Y'all giving us all these perks. Check the goddamn.
We're right in Manhattan Beach.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah. Have you been to that one over there, man?
I haven't. Have you?
Okay. No, I ain't been over there. That's where
I
I live
drove
over
by
there.
it. It's right by the airport or that area.
Yeah.
It looks insane.
I'm like 10 minutes from. I haven't been there yet. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
We got to
I like both
name
those.
the game, Ty.
Okay.
So we got the Ty Law game, the Peyton Pickoff game, the Ty Law rule game. Or do you have any other suggestions for what the name of the game could be? Or you could pick one of these.
I like, Chris Berman coined something for me, man, and that's special to me because it was the great Chris Berman,
Man.
He would always do this, talk about, I fought the law and the law won. I didn't know what it was. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I found out it was a damn song.
The Clash.
I fought the law and, yeah, I mean, it's cool. It ain't like my type of music, but Hey, I like that, man. So I mean,
I fought the law and the law won.
Yeah. So shout out. So shout out to Chris Berman, man, for put that on wax for me, man.
Stumbling.
Yeah.
Let's score the game. Is this the greatest game of all time? Let's score it. Stakes 0 to 10. Decimals okay. What are the stakes?
And this is we talking about the AFC Championship.
AFC
Championship.
Mind you, we've had Brady Chastain to talk about a championship World Cup game.
Mm-hmm.
We've had World Series comebacks.
Okay.
Had a Pro Bowl.
A Pro Bowl.
Oh yeah.
High stakes.
0
So
this is a trip to Super Bowl.
is this the greatest game of all time? I would think. For me, I would say the second.
Second.
I would say the second because the Super Bowl, you're the only game in town, and being fortunate enough to be on the other side of a play that everyone's remember. I would got to say that because you got to close it out. Yeah. It's one thing of getting there, but it's another thing of getting there and closing out. So I would say that was the second greatest, game for me. Star power wise.
No stakes. 0 to 10. You got to score it.
Oh.
What are the? You got to score it.
Oh, score it.
0 to 10.
That's a 10.
A 10?
Hell
The Super Bowl's on the line.
10. Super Bowl's on the line.
Yeah, that's a 10.
Manning.
Yeah.
So what's the Super Bowl?
Hell yeah.
12?
Star power. What do you mean by that? Give me a
Players.
Like the players, Tom
was in
Brady's
this
year
no,
in this
it's-
game.
star
Manning.
power. Think about it. We had the two. That's a 10 too. That's
Two of the best quarterbacks ever.
That's the two greatest quarterbacks, of the time, and now one is the greatest ever, and the other one, he's top 5. You know what I mean? Can't beat that. How many Hall of Famers now, including like I said, myself, Seymour, Tom Brady, man, shit. Oh, what we got 9 between those two teams? It's gonna be about 8, 9 of us. So yeah, absolutely.
Star power 10.
Okay.
Gameplay. Like, how was the gameplay of the game?
You know
Was
what?
it back and forth, defensive battle?
There's 5 field goals and a safety.
You know what? As a defensive player, I would have to put that up and say that's a hard 9. That's a hard 9. That's a hard 9 because, you want the game to come down to that. People, all this scoring and all this offense and all that. This is how the game is. Defense wins championships, and that's why we got there. So I would say that's a hard 9 because I would say a 10, but you got to give other guys some credit. So I'm gonna say a hard 9.
That's integrity right there.
Yeah.
What's the name of the game score? What the name? I fought the law and the law won
that's a great
game.
name.
Yeah, I like
Great
that one
name.
because that one had 3 picks. Man, they fought me.
You got to
that
score.
day.
You
That's
got to
why,
score the name.
10.
That's a
Yeah,
10.
That's
baby.
a 10. I fought the law and the law won. That's awesome.
Billy Bob.
We got-
I gave it a
I got
10.
I gave it a 10.
I got a song.
That's right, baby.
9.75. Let's see where it ranks in the games that we've done
That's high.
thus far. That is a very high. You were right.
Number 2.
Yeah.
AFC Championship game, the Super
2019
Blood Moon game, Patriots versus Chiefs.
So what they got us at? I can't see it. Where we at?
You're right.
here.
You're in between
Yeah.
that and where else, Jackie?
Game 6 of the 2011 NBA Finals, Mavericks versus Heat. Mark Cuban came in and was just kind of a little wild. So that one's high.
Mark Cuban gave it all 10s, I think.
Oh yeah.
But it's above the Giants and Patriots Super Bowl 1801 game. It's above the ALCS 2004
Shrug game.
Yankees Red Sox. It's our second overall.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But you think about it, man. Look, that magnitude of that game, and the star power. I mean, just the anticipation, the weather. I mean, that was how football's supposed to be, man.
We're talking about it 20 years later.
Football league.
Literally 20 years later, we're talking about it. Ty, we miss anything about this game?
No, we did. I think we got everything covered right there. We covered everything. You know what I mean? Because I was like, you can't get no better than that.
And just before we get off and go, I believe it is Corvus Vodka shot o'clock.
Yeah. Hey, you know
Shot
what?
o'clock.
Since we
One more?
we done ran the gauntlet. So what y'all want? Tropical, pure, grilled pineapple.
I like the grilled
Pineapple.
I
pineapple.
love the grilled pineapple.
I feel like I
Grilled
taste
pineapple.
I taste the flame grilled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hey, shout out to my guys up there at 110 Grill, man. Yeah, hey, they the huge support. Ryan, Deion, hey Kim, hey y'all. I wouldn't be here without you, man. So appreciate that. Legal Seafoods.
Thanks,
all
Dirty.
my partners up there.
Thank you, Ty. Awesome episode. This is amazing.
Awesome. Thank you. Corvus Vodka, let's go. Thank you. Insane.
Thank you, man.
Man, Ty got me hammered. gosh.
Brother, I ain't driving home from
We
this
have
episode.
4 of those shots.
Yeah.
It was good though.
I mean, Corvus vodka.
Oh yeah.
Grill up that pine. Everybody's got a pineapple. Everybody's got a citrus. But nobody's got a grilled pineapple.
No one has a grilled pineapple. And
Really
I
brings out the
tasted the
essence.
grill marks.
Today,
When
Seriously.
you said that, I was thinking it.
Yeah, I tasted it.
It's true. You could taste it.
A little smoke. Available online now at corvusvodka.com. Go check it out. New England faithful, Pats Nation, but everyone go check it out.
And a portion of every sale goes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame Player Assistance Fund, which I think is cool.
Great cause.
Take care of the old guys.
The guys that built this league.
They built it
But man, what
brick by brick.
What an episode.
That was fun.
Our 50th game.
How apropos for our 50th that we went wild.
Apropos.
Yeah, baby.
50s. Instantly comes to your mind, Mike Vrabel,
Mike Vrabel.
Rodneykovich.
Rodney, Zach, David Robinson, the Admiral.
David Robinson. 50.
Good 50s out there.
Some good 50s.
Zach Randolph, Zebo over there on the Grizzlies. Got some guys.
Who else? There's another 50 out there.
Let's see.
And also, all you hotline callers, we were planning on doing it for this episode, but it went long, and I'd rather have Tyler talk than Steve from Canton, so we'll bump it
That's
next
debatable.
time.
Hey, no shade to
I like
no shade
Steve
to
from
Steve from
Canton.
Canton.
And
He's got some hot
if
takes.
Steve is from Canton, he's definitely talking town spa. Some fucking bar pizza. I know it's in Stoughton, Sam, but if you live in the line right next to Stoughton, you go to goddamn town spa. Well, what an interview. Thanks again to Ty Law. That's been another episode of Games with Names. Tune in next week. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Comment a game you want us to do. And remember,
Rate and review.
Remember to follow Games with Names on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Snapchat. Leave a message on the hotline at 424-291-2290. See you guys next week.
Later.
Games with Names is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.